All right, because I want to show Wi-Fi. So I can put this on out there.
Do I share the live
From the Facebook and YouTube. You do one or both. And then I'm just gonna put it. And then you got to check to make sure everybody can hear me, so right here. Because I'm only one mic. I just gotta make sure I speak loud, right? Project, rather. Hit mute. It's very bottom on the left. Okay, we in a different vibe today, y'all. Check this out. Oh my goodness. Y'all see how we doing this one? This one different, ain't it? Ain't she different today, y'all? As you can see, look, welcome to Tuesday with the nuclear family. We got a different vibe going on. I still have my guest today for the nuclear family. Two beautiful women and two very handsome men.
Hey.
And it's because, listen, I had to do it this time. And this is a Chicago raid. At charaebchicago, listen, everybody. At charaebchicago, here I had to do it. I had to do it. Y'all know how I do. But before you get in, I would like for y'all to like the video, follow the page, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell in case you like stuff like this where we talk about the family and the community. Now, I'm going to go ahead and introduce my beautiful guests here with the nuclear family. I'm going to start with the ladies on the left. Now, y'all know her in the YouTube space. She usually comes in and she say a couple of things, make you guys feel a kind of way, but you understand where she coming from even if you can't understand the point, right? You get it just enough. Miss Wana, Chica.
Yeah.
And then on my farther left, all the people in the Facebook space know this one. She make you feel some kind of way too. So when she say what she say, you either gonna get with it or you gonna get lost. Miss Rashida Lucas.
Hey, everybody.
And then on my right, I have this man, as a man, standing here, okay? Usually also says things that kind of struck a nerve, and either you hate him or love him. But as a man, he's on top. So he is James Q.
What's up, everybody?
And then on my far right, last but not least, okay, see this one, as a director, cameraman, this man, he wants to direct, I ain't mad at him. I get him. If you're familiar with WME Colette, I feel like I'm going to have the same thing, only on the man's version. So it's all right. It's all right. It's okay.
Okay.
It's Mr. Echo Rhythm himself.
MCN.
Corey. I cannot. I cannot. Now, if you have followed February 1st, I did a panel with all women. It was Black women and marriage. Wana Chica was one of those that was up there. Shout out to Ílah, who I happen to have her mother here, Miss Rashida Lucas, and Colette, WME, Over the Top. So you guys be sure to subscribe to those channels as well. Shout out to Ílah from the Walking Dance Studio. Be sure to go check her out every Monday for her classes. So today I decided to bring men and women together. I also had James previously when I had conversations with all men. So February 1st was all men. February 8th was all women. And today I said, you know what? On 2222, 2 is the number of relationships, you guys. For those of you who do not know about astrology, your sister is going to tell you. The number 2 is relationship. So it takes 2 to have a relationship. So why not have the men and the women together? Hello? Let's do this. Let's have the conversation. Let's try to get some understanding going on, okay? Something got to give, because people act like they don't want to be together, but it's a bunch of babies that say otherwise. Man, okay? Okay. I want to understand why we can't stay together. So let's see if we can try to get to some kind of conclusion today with having men and women. Now, I'm going to bring up some points that the men have said and some points that the women have said in the previous videos. If you have not checked out the videos, I suggest that you do. Okay? I suggest that you do. So, first question. Do people not? I want to shout out. First, I want to shout out this page. Unsolicited boss. Security boss, unsolicited security boss. She had a video talking about where people today, they're wondering whether or not they can get to marriage if dating is necessary. And she said, well, yeah, absolutely dating is necessary. But some people have something else to say about dating. And dating happens before marriage in the first place. So before we can even talk about marriage, I thought we should talk about what leads to marriage. So my question is, do people know how to date today? Why or why not? Let's start with Rashida.
That question can go a lot of different ways, because a lot of different people have different ideas of dating. Some women feel they should get flowers. Some women are allergic to flowers, so they don't want it. There are people who feel like a man should open the car door, and there's some people like, I really don't care, I'll open his door. So I mean, dating can just, for some people it's hanging out watching movies. Some people feel like they need to actually go out and do some things. Some people just conversations. So I think it just depends on the people who are dating each other, and they need to have a conversation of what their ideas or what they probably expect out of the situation.
Okay. James, do people know how to date today? Why or why not?
No, people don't know how to date. People don't know how to date because they date for emotional reasons. Everybody looking to fulfill emotions, and emotions wane so much that you're going to be up and down. You'll be up for 5 days and down for 10, and then you lose your relationship. You lose what could have been. You're supposed to date for purpose. Marriage is supposed to be about some brand of a purpose of getting to a specific place or accomplishing a specific thing. But when you're trying to fulfill emotions, you ain't never going to do that. So,
wow. Okay. Miss Wana, Chica, do people know how to date? Why or why not?
I mean, do people know how to date? Yeah, I mean, people know how to date, or at least people know how to hang out, chill, kick it. But is it like any standards or boundaries or expectations? No. Like, people just Netflix and chilling. Like, they call that a date. You know what I mean? I mean, they linking up, they're doing things. I guess you're right if we have expectations on dating. Most times, people not vetting the person that they need to be vetting. They don't have their father. They don't have, it's not like a structure like, where the father is vetting, the man who's coming to pick up their daughter, or the daughter, or the son we looking at, the mama looking at who he about to take out. It's nothing like that anymore, I guess. And for adults, it's more just like, come over my house, chill for a minute. So it's not really any expectations. It's just more so hanging out now. And like you said, it's no intention. It's like, let's just see what happens. Let's hook up. Let's kick it. So they know how to date. They ain't dating. They just don't want to. They don't. They don't know. They don't know how to get married. Shit. They know how to date. I mean, we could date all day. They don't know what it takes. Well, we're going to get into that. I got some stuff to say. She already know.
Exactly. So before we get to the deep end, let's go ahead and get to Corey. Corey, do people know how to date?
I think it goes back to what Rashida was saying, like, it's your definition of dating. I remember hearing somewhere though that I don't know how this applies to the black man, but the black woman is the most divorced person of all ethnicities in America, and you have to credit that to dating. It starts at dating. So I think it's a difference of dating with a purpose and dating without one. A lot of people, some people use dating as like a social outing or whatnot, and some people use dating as like, this is where I'm headed and I want to go. I think it's wrong. I think you can date wrong when you have expectations on a date. Like, if we're going out to get to know each other, you're getting to know me. I think that the expectations will come when two people agree when it's time to get to that stage. But dating itself, my definition is getting to know somebody.
Okay. Does anybody want to say anything in regards to what someone else said?
Can I say something? What I said? I was on this date with this girl. I was on a date with a girl, and I had a conversation about this before. We walking down the street. I'm on the inside, and she on the outside. She takes me by my shoulders and pushes me on the outside, like unwarranted. I didn't ask you to push me on the outside. And we got a curse on your show.
No.
Okay.
No, I just want to know how I'm going to respond to
and this. We passed 2 minutes at least by now, right, producer?
Yeah.
Okay.
So now you curse.
So now you can curse, but yeah.
They can't hear you.
But no, she grabbed me and pulled me to the street.
Okay.
And she said, "That's what men are supposed to do." And okay, let's give it to the fact that theoretically I could stop a car if a car jumps the curb. You know what I'm saying? Like if a car jumps the curb, my body can stop the car. Let's say that works, right? Who the hell say I want to save you and I'm just dating you? Like, what do I tell my kids? I'm dead ass serious. Like, what do I tell my kids? Oh, I was a gentleman on this date that I was getting to know this woman, but I'm gone. So I'm just saying, like, expectations.
I was just about to say you go.
Don't expect me to save you on a first date.
Okay. So.
Okay. Speak.
Okay. So today, this is actually, again, this is something that I
it's laughable, but it's serious.
It's very, very, very serious.
Yeah.
So I recognized this a little while ago, and is that, to me, when people say that the dating pool is all pissy, it's because we lost gender roles. The expectation should be for you to be a man, and you're gonna take that hit from that car for a woman. However,
I don't turn it for a stranger.
Hold on. The return of that is that a woman is going to be whatever your definition or whatever the generalized definition of a woman is. So when there's no definitions, no societal definitions, everybody's making up their own thing, then I don't have to do what you want me to do, because you ain't gonna do what I want you to do or what I expect you to do. There are no expectations anymore. So I can't say that when I meet her, I know she's gonna bear my children, she's gonna keep my house.
Are you ready to save her from a car
again
hitting the curb on the first date?
Absolutely, because my expectation of me as a man is that I'm going to do this, that, and that, because she's going to do that, this, and this.
First date is,
but that's what's been taught to you.
If you had a daughter, would you feel that was okay if a guy felt that way with her?
I would say on the first date, don't expect anything from anybody.
So if your daughter goes out with a man or a young man on the first date, and she get hit by the car and he jump out the way, you're gonna be like, oh, hey fam, you did the right thing.
But you can still calculate if you need to be with a person on the first date. So wait. So if you with somebody and this person is being ungentlemanlike, whatever the case may be, then you make the decision, I don't want to be with this person. What I'm saying is you can't place expectations on the first date.
I think we have to, and that's where the problem occurs. Is
low standards.
There are no expectations. is that we should have bare minimum expectations. Again,
Right.
as a
People
man,
don't have
I'm
any
gonna do
boundaries
1,
or
2,
anything.
3, 4, 5 things on the very minimum. You're gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things on the bare minimum. We know this just because she's a woman, I'm a man. These are the things we gonna do now. The extra stuff we can pile on top. We so busy trying to figure out how to mate up the stuff at the bottom because nobody knows what the hell to do.
But I also think a lot of times, a lot of people are saying what a man is, what a woman is, what a relationship
That's
is, so on. and so
Bingo.
forth.
That's supposed to be already set based on general society. As a man, you're gonna take your ass to work. You're gonna make this money. You're gonna make sure this house is protected. You're gonna make sure things are fixed. You're gonna make these babies. You're gonna blah 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 blah. As a woman, she's gonna 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever these things are. We know this already.
Right.
She expects this by the time she gets to be 8 years old. She's gonna get married and she's gonna do these things. You expect this because this is what you see and this is what the rest of the life going around
That's
you is
even
doing.
worse. That's even worse. I ain't about to block no puddle from
And that's
I'm just saying, first date, like, let's relax. Everybody calm down. Like, what's your last name?
But without expectations, like what can we do if we can't walk in the door
Are
and
you gonna
say
hit raw that
you
night?
go and I know some of
But,
us,
but you know what?
some of us are
Damn,
self-employed,
that's a good
but
question.
when you had a job, you knew that if you go there and you worked, that they was gonna pay you.
Let him finish his thought. Finish your thought because I want to make sure they heard you.
Okay,
And then
now,
I will rush
well,
Rashida to ask
all
Corey a
I'm saying
question.
is when you knew when you had a job that when you went to apply for that job or whatever, that when you walked in the door, you was gonna do something and they was gonna do something in return, bare minimum. Now there was some other things that had to made up in between, but for minimum, you was gonna work, they was gonna pay. That's it.
I guess on my first date or dating, I'm getting to know this person.
You do
And I-
want to get paid for your first day of work, though, right?
But not relating to the job, relating to dating. If I'm with somebody, I'm not going to place an expectation on them. I'm not going to unwarrantedly put my hands on this person and tell them to be in a position that they need to be in based on what I was grew up on. Like, I'm getting to know this person. She's giving me the opportunity to either say yeah or nay. But I'm not going to place an expectation on them dating. That's what I'm saying.
Okay,
That's
I
what
got
I
it. All right, Rashida has a question for you, Corey.
Will I hit it wrong?
Are you hitting raw
No.
that night? It
It's
depends.
dangerous out here. I was joking. It's dangerous out here. I'm not
I
gonna
was gonna say you wasn't gonna risk your life, but you're gonna risk your life.
No. But the thing is, I think a lot of, I think the dating scene is all cosmetic. It's all about how this person looks into my life, not so much as getting to know this person. Actually, like developing some type of relationship. I might not like this person, but I'm not going to say you need to be this or you need to be that. I just think that that's unfair. And if I think that there's a certain phase in dating that you need to be there with, definitely not the first date.
So do you think it's a number of dates, or do you think that's something that the couple naturally just comes to?
I think it's something that the couple naturally goes to. Like if the feeling is organic, if I wake up in the morning, I'm thinking about this person, we communicate and everything like that. I'm giving an effort, and she knows I'm interested.
Okay,
Can I say something to that?
go ahead.
I think you should have some kind of expectations on the first date. You should have expectations for the first of anything because first impressions are everything, and we know that. That's with anything in life.
Is there a difference between standards and expectations?
Yes, there is a difference.
So it's okay to have a standard on a first date.
A standard, no. I would say the standard will be when you were talking about as you're getting to know that person. That's where the standards came in. Because let's say we're not even dating and I'm just meeting up with you for something. I have expectations that you're not going to be an a-hole when I meet up with you. So that's with dating in it. That's with anything. Any kind of something where you're going to be in a person's space, you should definitely have expectations.
Here's a question. Do you think that women have more expectations on men than men have on women?
No.
And dating?
I don't think it's a gender thing. I think it's a personal thing.
Mm-hmm.
Because some people are more picky, some people are really laid back. That's not a gender thing. The more picky people are the people whose standards are going to be like, do you wear Jesus? She don't have on Jesus sandals on this date. It's over. You know what I mean? That's just like, even on a date. If we go on a date, let's say perfect example. I'm a very you've been knowing me all your life. I'm a gassy person.
Very.
You're gonna expect for me not to belch on a first date. That's an expectation.
Wait, she said, okay.
You're gonna expect me to be a lady, right?
I would be surprised if you let one
Yeah,
go.
they would be grossed out.
They would,
They
but
would be.
I
They
wouldn't.
would not
Right.
want to date
I
you
wouldn't
no
do
more.
it on a second date. Yes, first I'm gonna hold you in my stomach.
So you can't control it, is what you saying.
No, I can't.
Oh.
It's coming out somewhere else where you won't know who it was in the restaurant. Please
Right.
believe me.
That's
If you hold it in, it got to come out somewhere.
real.
Okay,
I'll be sitting
okay.
here like,
This is interesting.
Okay.
So we're
So
talking.
do you just
Like,
explain?
they roast me, really? Is that the
Do
problem?
you? But do you just
Eat corn.
explain? 'Cause I feel like honesty is the best approach if you got an issue. Like you. Why not just say like I got a gas problem?
Cuz shitty booty, you shouldn't be doing that in a fucking restaurant. Go to the bathroom. Like,
Well,
I'm not
So-
gonna
if
get
you
up
would
and go.
prefer me to step out, but that's it's
and
very
that's kind of where you
often.
learn if people are
You gotta be honest.
understanding of certain
Yeah, you
things.
gotta be honest.
be honest with
Now
me.
I'm with you with
In the first-
Now I get her. I'm with James and your date with the. It's almost like at this age you should know like a woman walks on the inside and you walk on the outside.
Really though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Okay,
pretty
Because-
standard.
because guess
So
what?
for me,
Because
it's
guess
an identity
what?
thing.
Speaking of nuclear families, my father told me to have that expectation. That's not something I learned from other
And
people.
you know what? I could be a perfect gentleman
Okay.
based on me just being a good human being. So
That's
if I'm walking
That's
through the door and there's a young man that's walking through the door, I'm gonna hold the door for him. If I'm with a woman, I'm gonna open the door for her. I know what she wants, but it's almost
She
to
physically
place
chose- yeah, she
that on
physically
you.
No.
Like,
That's
I
the
wouldn't
part I was
physically-
saying I don't agree with.
Of
She
course.
had no
Oh, it was a
right
whole
to
argument. We had a
just
whole
move you. You know what I mean? She could have. She
I
could
don't
have.
know,
It was a way she could have said it, or she could have just let the night go.
That
You
was
know
our
what I
only
mean?
date.
No, me,
One.
I would have said something to him like you. I
Well,
would have asked him
okay, well,
or
can I
said
use-
something.
can I
Well, how about I suggest? Do you mind walking on the other
Can
side?
I use an
It's like
example?
if
I feel
you're
more
placing this
comfortable.
expectation.
James'
Yeah.
face.
I'm
Okay,
dead
I'll use an
serious.
example of myself. I just went on a date last week.
Oh shit.
I know, right? It's very rare for me. Court, stay out of my business, court. No. So,
He
What
made you
happened
walk
was-
on the outside.
no.
Talking about the gas
No.
problem.
Excuse me, sir. I'm quite gassy.
She started it.
Oh no, I made
You gas
I made sure, no, I
trying to
made
bring
sure I
it
did
down,
it
but-
things before I left, so that would minimize it. But no, since I've been eating healthy, I don't have that problem.
I would think you had more.
No, less. Yeah.
Focus.
So, focus. So okay, so
I don't smell her today. She smell like baby powder.
If you see a little smoke come up the back, you know it's
Okay, so this is what happened.
We tell the light down.
So it's not the lightest your drink. So
Okay.
what happened?
He's like, it's hot. It's a light.
So this is what happened. So he initially picked me up like a gentleman, picked me up, and I was like, "You're not gonna get out and open the car door?" And I was just like, "Okay, let's see how the rest of the night goes." This is
Wait. You was sitting in the car waiting for him to come around.
No. When he pulled up and I came out, he didn't get out to open the door for me.
Oh.
So I
you
was
want to
just
inconvenience him getting out the car to come open up the door for you.
Inconvenience him.
inconvenient.
I'm just joking.
He know he's serious. He don't even want to.
Borderline serious.
So at first I was
I love
like,
y'all.
so this is why I say sometimes waiting is good. So at first I was just like, okay, all right, it's just today. Let's see where the rest of the night goes. You know what I mean? So we go out. Once we get to where we're going, then he gets out, opens the door, and we got in. You know, pulled out his card for whatever we were having that night. Took my coat off. Put straight gentleman. Put my coat on every time. Everything after that was open the door.
Okay.
So when we actually had the conversation yesterday about it. So
Who brought it up?
he brought it up.
Oh, so he was cognizant.
Well, no. He brought up because you know where I live.
Right. Right.
yeah.
Oh, I got you now.
Yeah, I got it.
So when he brought it up, it was almost kind of like Corey, but just not as ignorant. He wasn't.
I don't take that. I'm not offended.
Like, I know how you feel, but I know it was, your humor. But so he was like, the area you live in, when you came out, I got to pay attention where we at. If I need to drive off, I can't drive off if I'm outside. And I'm thinking to myself, like, you know what? Makes freaking sense.
I'm gonna drive off
I can't
without
even be
Joey.
mad. This your block. You handle your block.
You good? I'm not. I'm gone.
You handle your block.
These
But,
your people.
so I brought that up just to say that I kind of understand you certain instances. Now, Corey's was funny, but what he said, that was some real life stuff. You know what I'm saying?
So he knew.
I'll just say I could see O Block from my house, so I understood. You know what I mean? I understood.
So
my block
he acknowledged.
the
And
area, right?
he was.
And he's from out of town, so
Corey is like, no,
So-
bitch, you gonna get hit first.
Corey, like somebody got him.
Somebody gotta die.
I'm saying, let me smell it before I like put it out there where I'm gonna protect your life. Like, what I'm saying is, like, don't. All I'm saying is, okay, the young lady on YouTube, she cleared it up. She said it's not so
I
much.
hate you so much.
She said that it's not so much as
Oh my
you
God.
blocking a car, you blocking a puppy. And I understand that women want to feel secure.
Right.
So a man has to step in and be that to show her that you are under my security. I got you.
Especially if she grew up with a father.
And that's cool.
Because I would have instantly wanted that.
But thank God that I've never had a daughter, because I would teach my daughter to not expect anything.
Wow.
Just assess the situation.
So I have a daughter.
I was just about to say,
before we, because y'all going on about the date thing, we didn't even get to the next questions, guys. Let me go ahead and get to the next question, because the follow-up questions can lead to this, continue this conversation.
Somebody said
All
people have questions.
Okay, so
People have questions.
of
Yeah.
course they do. They always gonna have
That's
questions.
your question. Do people know
All
how
right.
to date? Why not?
Okay, yeah, but that's the first question.
So this ain't my screen.
No.
That's the one you gave the best answer out of all of us to.
Exactly. Okay, so the next question. So we're gonna do the next question because I think that we can kind of follow up with this conversation, because this conversation pretty much generalizes standards. So my next question is this: do women undervalue themselves by setting low standards? Let's go. Since Rashida just moved, Rashida, you go first, because you went over there and you started moving and oh my.
I'm gonna say a hell yes.
Mm.
And I do some of the work that I do on a daily basis. I get this a lot, and it's not an ethnicity thing, nationality, culture. It's people. It's a lot of people who are their self-esteem is so low, insecurities through the roof. You wouldn't be able to tell with all the shit they wear to cover up with all the labels and stuff. But it's people that, like, you talking about undervalued women, but definitely yes. A woman will, and women, I don't take this the wrong way, but it's from the work I do on a daily basis with relationship coaching. There are more women than men who will literally rather go back to an ex that they know ain't worth shit, that doesn't treat them right, versus learning somebody else who could possibly give them the proper love that they yearn for.
But do they know?
They know they can get it.
No, do they know what they want?
I can't see that.
Clearly they don't, because they undervalue themselves
They
and go
undervalue
back to
themselves.
what they don't want
That's a problem.
and beg for it.
And
It's so weird.
I disagree. I have a different take on that.
Okay.
So I'll let you.
Yeah. All right. I'm gonna let Corey go, and then I'm gonna go to you and then Wana. All right. So Corey, you go next.
Yeah, that's 1 + 1. If you undervalue yourself, then you definitely gonna have those standards. But I'm
No,
kind
I'm
of.
asking generally, do women,
I
do
think
women
typically,
undervalue themselves
typically, yeah, and I
by
think
setting low value?
I think typically yes, because I think women are. I think women want to be with somebody, so they're gonna do a lot of things and compromise in a lot of situations for the sake of being with somebody. So in this day and age, yeah, I think women typically undervalue themselves.
Okay. What about you, James? Do
So-
women undervalue themselves by setting low standards?
To whom much is given, much is required.
Say it one more time so people can hear you. Closer to the mic,
As a
James.
man.
Closer to the
To whom much is given, much is required. Meaning that there are a lot of people who don't ask for much, aka low standards, because they aren't willing to give much.
Ooh. So you saying basically they don't give it because they can't reciprocate.
They don't want it. For what I see, if you look around, women don't want much to be placed on them. They don't want those responsibilities.
They want the wedding and not the marriage.
Yes. So that's the issue. That's why they want to be responsible for their sexuality. I want to do what I want to do. I want to live my life the way I want to live my life. Because if you have someone that you are responsible to, then they're going to place standards upon you that you're going to have to do those things. You have everything of your own. Someone else doesn't give you these things because you're going to have to produce something, and you don't want to produce those things.
Dang, James.
Okay.
What was the
Wana.
question?
Do women?
James always go hard.
But that's
does.
what in your situation that you was just talking about. You have people who they gonna go back to an ex because they know what to do. It's easy, or at minimum, it's simple enough because they're used to it.
Yep.
So now they got to go to somebody else who's gonna ask them for something different, and now they got to step their game up. Now they're gonna be asked for more, and I don't know if I'm capable of that, or I don't want to give that. So I'm gonna do what I can do, and I'm gonna get what I can get.
We'll go back to easy.
Or not being alone.
Damn.
No
That
one being
part.
alone. Yeah.
Oh no. They don't say alone. You know which word that goes with. Alone is a little different. Go deeper.
Lonely?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
That's a mindset. They will literally just feel like they have to have somebody, regardless of what they give, if they can give proper love, if they actually love them, just so they don't be lonely.
All right, so Wana, Chica, do women undervalue themselves by setting low standards?
They do.
I think that for the most part, women have no standards for men, especially Black men. And what they do is they really set the bar very low because they don't expect much from them. And it's not about what they're willing to give, it's about the expectation. They're taught like not to expect much from men. And so what they do is, because of the lonely word, they will date whomever is available to them and or approach them. And just because a man approach you doesn't mean you should date him. So the standards are already too low because you're just dating someone just because that's who came in your space. And so, you just, anyone who approach you, you give them an opportunity. You don't even have expectations for yourself and standards, and you should, because it's regardless, the expectations will be developed for the relationship. For every relationship is different. There's no generalized standard. I know we're trying to place gender roles and expectations on people, but just being married and over being together with somebody over 5 years, it's like what expectations change, standards change, everything changes in a relationship when you're partnering with someone and you're trying to make your life work. So all of that is irrelevant. Once you partner, you're going to have to set different standards based on your family, based on everything that happens in your life. For instance, I was 9 months pregnant. At 6 months, I couldn't even clean the house, right? That was primarily, I do that, right? But when I'm no longer able to, somebody else gonna have to clean the damn house, right? What, you gonna just keep it dirty? Yeah, no, it's gonna happen. So you ain't gonna like my house just get dirty, right? Or you can pay a you know, you can pay a maid
service.
if you want to, but it's definitely gonna have to get clean, or even other duties and responsibilities. I couldn't cook as much. Like that's we're gonna have to shift. So all those expectations, they change as your relationship change. I'm talking about initially women who partner with men, especially women. We have no self-confidence, no self-worth. We are devalued, we are degraded a lot, and we're sexualized a lot. And so a lot of women internalize that, and they believe that about themselves. They don't think that they deserve better. So yeah, there's low standards for that.
Especially when the first man who was supposed to love you didn't show you anything. So how would you even know what to expect?
Because most times their fathers aren't raising them. They don't even know what a father looks like and or an expectation of a man. So yeah, especially in our community. Yes, it's generally people in general, but who's suffering the most?
So who want to go first?
Yeah,
On the
yeah.
gentleman side. Gentlemen, do you guys have anything you want to say to that?
King Tuesday.
Did you want to say something, James?
Corey said, "Don't start no shit."
Go ahead, James.
I want to hear
say.
James.
I'm
You know I
always-
love it. Come
I'm
on.
always for some shit.
It won't be none. I mean,
Most
I'm
of
going
most
to
of
refute it.
most of what you said, I actually I don't really disagree with, except for, again, for me, I start paying attention to just simple things and psychologically that people do and say. Women, black women, all you gotta do is look at the internet and walk around and listen. And you hear me, my, I. So much. They're not looking for anything that requires a group, a relationship. It's me, my, I. I did this, me and mine. Everything's about self. So you cannot have a group if all you're thinking about is yourself and what makes you happy. If you're gonna be in a relationship, you gotta start thinking about somebody else. These people are barely even thinking about their kids. They worry about going on trips, proving that they can do, be, and have alone. What happens when you try to go in a group? You can't function. They struggle, and they struggle mightily. They think that everything has to bend to them. So the low standards are, again, because they don't want to be expected to give anything. You have to change your life in order to be with somebody. Just like you said, things have to change. They're not willing to change because it serves them. If they can make their own money, have their own things, do things what works for them and them alone, then it's fine. I saw a video on Facebook a couple weeks ago, maybe last week. It was actually sad. People thought it was funny. It was a first grade teacher. She said it was first grade. She was videoing these little kids, 2 little boys and 2 little girls arguing. And I can't remember what the little boy said, but the little girl started going in. I got my own money. I don't need a man. These 6-year-olds.
Shit, at home listening to that crap.
I got my own money. I don't need a man. And a man don't do nothing for me. And everybody thought it was funny. I said, that's sad.
That's not funny. She growing up around bitter ass
I
women.
say that's sad, but that's what's being taught and pushed. The me, the my, the I. There's no group in this thing.
I'll take it a little step further. I remember I saw this one painting of a white man. This was back in the 1800s. White man was feeding a black woman and her child out his hand. And he was talking to another white man. So he was feeding the black woman. And I believe that we've been, whether it's been, self-inflicted or orchestrated, but we've been stripped of our security to black women. So black women know that they have to get on their own now. They're in a position, if a woman has her own degree, has her own job, makes her own money, why does she need a man? And that's the mentality that everyone has now. We don't need each other. We can do it on our own.
It's not even the thought process that we're stronger together. That if I have my own, if you have your own, then we can come together and now we have more. It's no, you keep yours over there, I'm gonna keep mine over here, and that's just what it is.
Yeah. And
Let me
yeah,
tell y'all why y'all.
options. We have a
Let
lot
me
of
tell y'all
options.
why y'all thinking it's so problematic
Oh, wow.
and why it is so crippling to Black men. Because let me say this. Number one, okay, this generalized view of women based on some sensationalized social media is like ridiculous.
I was talking about
Hey, no,
This is-
let me
this is what we
finish
call
because
experience.
I
It's
want
just
to
what we
finish.
experience.
I want to
That's fine.
finish because when you're on an airplane, okay, and it's going down, what do they tell you to do with the mask?
Put it on yourself first.
Okay, so why is it that a woman taking care of herself first is problematic? That is actually something you should congratulate. That's something you should gravitate toward. A woman who is getting herself together, because you should be doing the same. You shouldn't be threatened by an educated woman who got her shit together. You should level yourself up. That's what men need to do, is need to compete with other races of men. You need to stop trying to compete with your woman. What you should do is, that's what it sounds like.
You're
What you
inserting
should
that.
do.
You're really inserting that.
And you just generalize the whole group of women based on your personal experiences. So I can insert my own assessment based on what you said. So level up as a man. Don't be
So get on her level.
get up above her level, because we're hypergamous. Remember, we like to date up. So get above her level. Compete with other men. Don't compete with her.
So
Because that's
get my shit together.
Get your shit together.
Oh, okay.
And don't be
She's the
threatened.
prize.
Don't be threatened by the woman. Actually, you will be the prize. You will be the prize.
Allow me
I'm
allow me
interested
to
in the
retort. First of all,
I gotta look up all these
it ain't even about Black women. Let's take Black women out the equation.
The word Black irks me anyway.
Let's take women out the equation. Let's talk
What you
basic
identify as.
female. Let's just talk
I'm
female.
Black.
Let's just talk female.
You know that's a derogatory term.
No, it's not when we're talking female. I'm not talking
Now,
female.
that's a whole nother topic.
I'm not talking. Whoa. I'm not talking female applies to
Well,
women.
for the
I'm talking
record, I
about
don't
the
find
female
it right.
species.
I don't either.
So
We as women are fine with females.
Well, here's the thing.
Hold
on.
But I'm not saying y'all are female. I'm talking about the basic female species. Okay? Female mosquitoes, female cougar, female anything.
Okay.
Females are attracted to security.
Yeah, we are.
No, yes, you are. So if you out there, well, why we gotta level up if we're supposed to be your security?
What are you talking?
I'm
You don't understand
rebutting.
that security means to provide?
Yes.
Okay.
So
what
why?
you mean?
So why do I have
don't
to?
understand what you mean.
Where's the competition at? I'm providing security for this woman. Why do I have to compete with her? Why do I have to level up?
You shouldn't be competing with her.
You just
That's exactly
said
what you said.
that we need to level up.
You said
Okay, I said don't compete with women, compete with other men. Rewind the tape, because they wasn't listening. Clearly they wasn't listening. Rewind the damn tape. I'm not listening. No, you were not. Because I did not tell y'all to compete with women.
You said level up.
You said two different things. You said compete with other men. Okay.
I
you
said
did
you
say
should
that,
compete with other men.
However,
That's
but you
what I
said if
said.
we're getting our own and we're blah blah blah, then you should level up.
That's what you
instead
said.
of competing with us, when actually that means competing.
Well,
with
that's
us.
what you interpreted it as. That's not
But
what it is.
The other three people
Regardless,
say the same thing.
you go ahead and provide. That's security.
Right.
You're not going to
But
get.
so now I
what
have
you
to.
mean?
So what you're saying is I have to provide above your level, aka.
If you want to
compete
attract
with-
certain women, that's what you want.
You-
If you want an average woman, then
But you do understand that
If
we're
you
saying.
want to attract
But
certain
you
women,
do understand
elevate
that we're
yourself.
not saying that we need to compete with the woman, right?
Well, y'all sound like it.
It sounds like it, but we're not.
Okay, good. So I interpret it as you
It's okay.
trying to compete with women. That's what it sounds like.
It's okay.
When really you should just level up. Is my point. My point. And you should, yes, you should compete with other men, not with women.
Gotcha.
That's what I say.
So me coming in to provide for this woman is some form of competition.
That's right, because guess what? Most men don't provide for their women.
Wait, who are these men?
Well, you see the statistics, or you
No.
Okay, because
My
I
circle
understand
isn't
that if you
my
have
circle
a
isn't. I don't surround my
That's right.
circle ain't set up that way. So I'm sitting here like, huh? Who are these people? I mean, I know they exist, but
Right.
it just sounds
Okay, but
foreign to me now.
of course, if I can personalize it, right? Because my husband takes care of all the bills,
He leveled up.
right? So I can say, okay, my husband takes care of all the bills. He does everything. So I don't,
You don't have that problem.
I don't have the problem. But I'm not
But other
I'm
women
not
out here
Yeah.
are dealing with these bum ass dudes
Because
that's
guess
not
what?
leveling up.
60% of women are unmarried, and 28%
Because they leveled up. What they need a husband for?
28% of us are in poverty.
Because
why
they
am I gonna
leveling up. They don't need no man.
Why am I going to speak to my personal experience when I know that there's women who don't experience that? So we need to think about it in a broader way. Now I can just talk about my personal experience if y'all want. I can just sit here and brag, or we can talk about what every woman in the world is experiencing. Okay, then. So it's like, why would I do that? I don't speak in that way. That's not realistic.
You level up, you ain't gotta tell nobody.
Yeah, and I don't want to. I mean, I sometimes what I say is because people are naturally going to be like, okay, what's your life like?
Or
What's your husband like? What's he doing? Well, that ain't got nothing to do with what I'm saying though. Like, let's just talk about what's going on in the world, and that is that most women have to work. And have to work alongside her husband.
Or they might
her
not
husband
have
is
to.
not the sole provider.
Or
And
they might
that's
not
just
have
what
to.
it is.
They could get with a husband and sit the fuck back and shut the fuck up.
But that's not what's realistic. You have to look at what the trends are showing. And that is that it's two dual income supporting families, right?
I wouldn't want my wife to work.
Right, but that's great that you don't want that. But
I wouldn't.
realistically, she probably will have to. So
She
that's what
probably
happens
would
in
not
this
have
world. Well, okay. I mean, we can personalize it and say what your wife's not gonna do, but we looking at trends and what everybody else is doing. So I'm
my
in.
house casually work.
That's what I'm saying. And ain't nothing wrong with
Stay
that.
home. Stay
And ain't
home.
nothing.
I want, you know what?
And I go to work every day.
If
I
go to
just
work,
came
you
from
go
work.
to
I told Sheree I had to go to work.
Hold
before I
on,
came
hold
here.
on. Here's the other thing. If I pay bills, so are you.
That's right. Well, no.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
not my problem.
Yeah.
But I understand that. I wouldn't mind, actually. I don't
Staying
mind
home?
paying bills.
No, paying the bill.
Paying the bill.
I don't mind paying bills.
I wouldn't mind. I mean,
You pay
if
some
you
bills.
want me, if you need me, I wouldn't even mind.
It's not even a big deal.
But I mean,
I believe in 80-20. That's
Sagittarius.
myself.
I'm the 20.
You're 20?
Or
I'm
you're
the
80.
20.
I'm the 20. I'm
And I'm
definitely
speaking
the 20.
financial. I'm not speaking as much we're putting into the relationship. No.
Right.
you just saying financial.
Financial. Yeah.
I just think a lot of times, a lot of morals and traditions are spread in schools that if the woman is at home, there could be we can teach our children, like if I'm working, she's working, kids in the school system, it's just, there's nobody to maintain the home. So she is working, even if she ain't working.
Our kids are getting their values and principles from everywhere outside the house.
Absolutely.
And that's because everybody got to make more money. And everybody trying to prove that they can have these things, those things.
Social media.
So they're walking outside the house. And that's what it is.
And that's what's happening.
And then our whole communities are all fucked up because we all got to have these things and prove these things. And we ain't got no values, no principles.
All the values
the
are
children
the things have
homeschooled
the
in
things
your-
have more
Not so much a
sales
homeschool,
nowadays.
but again, when you are there
Things
more often
have
than
more
not,
worth and they work.
Hey, over the top.
People
When you-
put more value on their things
She said,
than
well,
themselves
for
now. That's one of the major problems.
I think when you're there, first of all, when you have a bond, okay, a husband and a wife, or a man and a woman, however you like to put it, when they have a bond, they have similar principles and standards. And this is what's going to govern your house.
Right.
However, when both are not there, 60-75% of the time, how do you get that into your children?
Yeah.
That's very, very difficult.
You know,
They're getting these things from video games. They're getting these things from other households. They're getting these things from everywhere but you.
Yeah.
And you're trying to force it into them, and that's why most of us are fighting with our kids for simple things that we thought were supposed to be easy.
So it's
that
not
they're
about
supposed to know.
So it's not about leveling up. It's about returning to gender roles. A functioning household is a man providing security and a woman being a nurturer. I don't even think that that's something that's pigeonholed to like I'm saying what a woman should do and I'm saying what a man should do. I think that women want to play that role, and I think that men want to play that role. The fact of the matter is we're just not finding people to play it with.
See, that's called a system, and systems have been proven to always work. That's why McDonald's has always and will always be the number one franchise in freaking history. Yes, it is. They have a system
Subway.
that a 16, but they're not going to be number one over McDonald's. We know this.
They got more stores.
but
1 billion
but they're
hamburgers
not
sold.
going to
I
be.
get what you're saying. I do get what you're saying.
Somebody got a
McDonald's
system too.
McDonald's set up a simple system
Yeah,
that a
yeah, they do.
16-year-old can run the
The speed
entire store, and it works.
It does.
If
I watched
people
the
get
Sopranos
back
the other day.
to systems, they work. So I agree with the gender roles and things like
And I
that.
don't even think it's
Just not
something.
to the extreme.
I think that women that haven't found love think that they're being put in a position to be like the old traditional woman. But a woman that really finds a man that she feels secure with, she would happily submit to him.
It's gonna happen anyway.
It's gonna
I
happen,
just had this
yeah.
conversation today. It is. No matter what she's been through, no matter how, like me, y'all
If she
know me,
feels secure.
I'm rough around the edges.
Buffet.
But yes, sir. but at the end of the day, I'm a woman more than anything. I'm a
Right.
submissive woman. I'm an
Yes.
understanding woman. But who are you gonna take the time to even see that that's in there or bring it out?
Not if she's
Because that's not gonna come out
not
for
if
everybody.
not if her
Ain't
view
interested
is
if it-
jaded.
That ain't you, then that ain't you.
But not if her
Right,
That's
but
a
I'm
whole
saying,
different
but
her
but
view
what
might
I'm
be
saying, but it's
jaded.
me.
I'm not trying to
But
bring
her
nothing
view
out
might
of
be
nobody.
jaded to where she thinks that she's not gonna get that from a man.
But
Well, no, it's not jaded that I won't get it.
Not you. I'm saying
Oh,
typically
but a few
women
minutes
that
ago,
feel
In-
like
in
he was
general,
just wrong.
Right.
Okay.
for wanting you to bring out the gentleman.
What? I didn't say he was wrong.
He didn't want to walk on the outside.
no, I don't want to kill myself on the first
Right.
date.
So if he don't want to kill himself on the first date, then why should anybody have to bring out?
Did you
Yo,
forget I tell
submission.
my story, or you listening to what she said? Because that wasn't me.
I heard you tell. the
No,
story.
remember I said I partially agree with what he
Yeah, I
said.
remember the part.
Yeah, you forgot that part.
Mm-mm. You still said he was wrong.
No, I
Wait,
didn't.
I'm wrong
What
with that.
I know.
What I didn't say.
I
know.
said his
counted
story was
him.
funny as
No.
hell.
It
That's what I
was
said.
true, and that was our first date. That was our first and only date.
But I also did say she was wrong for pushing him to do that. She could have just waited to see what he was going to do the rest of the day.
So me, I feel like people are who they are, and so if I have to bring the submission out of you, then you're not submissive, and I'm cool with that.
Well, no, that's not true because submission is different because everybody's not deserving of that. So I can't give that to everybody.
If that's not who you are, I'm cool.
But that is who I am.
Yeah.
But if you're a jerk, I'm not going to be submissive to you. No, I'm not.
Okay.
So
Just like if you don't like me, you're not going to hug me.
I said okay.
I love women that I don't like.
Huh?
And so-
You're not.
So-
We're not gonna put up no
You
fights
do?
if you don't want
I'm
to
not
do it.
hugging anybody I don't like.
So I
said women.
have a view on
I
submission
know
real
you
quick.
can.
Out of curiosity, I want to,
What's your view?
So my view on submission is this: I think women are naturally submissive. Period. I don't care how tough, how strong
Yep.
she come off, how independent she nah. Cause she be in front of one particular man and she gonna sit her ass down.
You better
It's
somebody.
It's 100% facts. Here's the thing for me though. I think a woman should always bred into that energy, period. If a man makes you feel that you are stepping out of your submission, walk away. I don't think you should ever compromise it for anybody. And I think it's the same for men. Don't ever compromise it. So if I see a man who makes me feel less of a woman, he does not deserve to be in my presence because now I'm out of character.
Mhm.
So it's the same. And so I think that's kind of where James probably coming from. But I understood what you were saying because not everybody deserves that energy. So that's why I say, walk away. You don't deserve to be in my energy because I'm no longer submissive, and I don't like that.
But
I want to
and
continue
that's-
to be
And
submissive.
that's my thing is that my masculinity is not optional. I'm gonna walk on the outside no matter what. I don't care if I don't like you. I'm gonna walk on the outside because that's who I am. I find myself when I go to the grocery store with my girl, I've been switched sides multiple times because we didn't went on different sides of the parking lot.
Mhm.
But that's just who I am. And I'm not gonna change who I am because I'm with you today. And then
Well-
try to be different when I'm with her tomorrow. This
Well,
is
no.
just something
Here's a
that
good
I'm
example.
doing.
Here's a good example about that. I'm a very, 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 very touchy, feely, affectionate, passionate person. But every man I go out on a date with cannot rest his hand on my thigh if I'm not feeling your energy
That's
right.
a little bit different.
No, it's not, because then that would be saying I'm not being who I am because I don't want you to touch me. It's the same thing, James. Different people.
That's definitely
Yes, it is.
Okay, I mean, listen.
You go off the person and the
I ain't got no fight.
because I love being touched, but not just by anybody.
I
Just
love
like,
walking on the
just
outside
like-
for women, just not for
just
every
not for
woman.
anybody.
Just not for every
I
woman.
love being submissive. Just not for
I love
everybody.
risking my life for some women, just not for everyone.
It doesn't mean that's not who you are. it's the same thing with knowing how to pick your battles.
I mean, for me,
You know what I mean?
again, for me,
As a man,
you don't want to. If you don't want to walk on the outside, you don't have to walk on the outside. You don't want to open the door. You don't want to open the door. But guess what? You're going to judge him based on that, as you said.
but that's an honest assessment.
That's
If you are showing yourself
Now you
in
can't
dating.
say, well, on date 2 or maybe after date 5, I'll start opening doors. Maybe after date 6, I'll do these things when I know who I'm dealing with and if you deserve those things from me. No, if that's who I am, then that's who I am. I have a son. I taught my son to do those things no matter what.
But see, but that's just like when I went on a date last week. The guy I went with is a gentleman. That's who he is. But he didn't get out the first
He
time.
ain't no dummy,
That's all I'm saying.
right?
But again,
but that doesn't take away the fact that
But
doesn't
if
say
you didn't-
he's not being
but you
who he
I don't
is.
feel like
judged-
I'm
no,
every
you
woman's man.
judged the first time and you waited for the rest, as you said. You was like, okay, let's see how the rest of this goes.
Definitely.
Exactly.
But I didn't just cut it. I could have easily went back in the house like, you know what, forget
No,
this. I'm
but you
cool.
got the rest. Now again,
Right.
if that wasn't what he showed you for X amount of dates until you earned it, surely you didn't earn it on a damn car ride.
I did because he opened my door when I got out.
She did. He just didn't want to do it where he thought
On my
some
block.
shit was gonna pop off. Self-preservation is a motherfucker.
So
Seriously.
again, because of his assessment and being observant, I can't say that's not who he is. He just wanted to be safe. He ain't even from
That's now, I
you know
think
what
we're
mean?
saying different things. He didn't say, he said that that's who he is and that's what he did. He didn't make you earn it. He didn't say, no, I'm gonna wait until after X amount of time and
Well,
you do
again,
X
he's
amount
not
of
Corey.
things.
So I mean,
But you said that a man has to bring out your submission.
but again, yeah,
So
but
you need to
again,
bring out my masculinity. So let's go Dutch on this date.
wait.
And
Wait, so I gotta bring out I thought that's already supposed to be there.
see, you just said,
Masculinity and submission. Okay, first of all, submission is not
What?
femininity.
why
I
your
am
shit get to be
I'm-
optional when mine don't?
What?
Submission and
What
femininity
you
are not the
mean?
same
I'm
thing.
lost.
Why are you saying that?
I'm
It's
lost.
I didn't,
like
I didn't say it was.
characteristic.
Did I ever mention
Well,
femininity?
open
I'm so
okay,
first
okay,
of all,
but
I'm tired of the
splitting the
masculine
date and
feminine
masculinity
conversation.
are not the
I
same
keep having
For me, it's
this.
masculinity.
It's not.
So for-
Being masculine has its character trait, right? It's
Mhm.
not connected to an act of chivalry.
Okay,
That's
so
that's
why?
being
So
that's,
why?
it, you
well,
can as a masculine man will do chivalry, but that's not the same.
But while
thing.
we're breaking down definitions, gentleman is not how a man conducts himself to a woman. The original
That's
definition
right.
for a gentleman is the
That's
character
right.
and quality of a man.
Yeah.
But we have taken that definition and
Into
said
something else.
into something else.
Yeah.
So
Well, since we're on this subject,
That's
what
fine.
what does a woman do that give off masculine energy?
So we
damn.
so
we
she don't need a
going
man.
there?
She don't need a man.
Okay,
No,
so
she
wait,
don't need a man.
real quick. This is not what we're doing right
What
at
is
this
that?
particular right.
Yeah.
I mean,
Because
bro,
those
no,
definitions
no,
are
no.
right, okay. Okay, no, we're not. All right, not today. Not today.
We're gonna be here.
Oh no, all day, exactly. Lord, jeez, look at the time. No, so
Only no question number two.
I know, right?
Right. I ain't even get to the next question. God dang. Okay.
What's the next
The
question?
next question is.
Wow.
I was looking for the producer. Okay. The next question is. Okay. Next question is there too much pressure on men to be perfect?
Look, can I answer that?
Yeah, you can go first. Is
waiting
there
on
too
that
much
one.
pressure
Corey been
for
waiting
men
on
to
that
be
one.
perfect?
Let me say this.
I can't wait to hear this.
A woman can tell you about what a man should be, and that's the problem. I think
I keep hearing that a lot.
seriously, a woman like tonight, shit, like a woman would say what a man should be, and I think what's the question? Is there too much pressure? I think that I believe that it shouldn't be any pressure. I guess I'm a little bit more free spirited where when I see something and I just don't agree with it, that's it. I'm just gonna move on. I'm not going to sit there and try to trivialize why this woman is not doing this or whatever the case may be. I just understand that this is not the person for me. But I do believe that a lot of women place this pressure on a man to be this and be that and be this. And you know, I be seeing on Facebook sometimes that a man can't express himself and be strong at the same. Can't be vulnerable and be strong at the same time.
And see, I don't like that.
That's weird.
I don't like that.
I do believe that there's some truth to that, because you can't expect this man to be so strong to where he can never be vulnerable.
But see, that's not
Seriously.
that's not a woman. That's a girl mindset, because she doesn't even know any better.
True, but it's still expectations on women on men.
Yeah, and poor baby, she don't know no better.
So
Because a man that strong is secure with being vulnerable.
I think
It
when
takes
you're,
a lot
I
of
think when you're
strength.
being vulnerable, you're being strong.
You are. It takes a lot of strength to even open up like that.
True.
To even be that transparent with somebody and trust the fact that they're not gonna throw it back in your face.
I agree.
okay, so let me ask you then, Rashida. Is there too much pressure on men to be perfect? Perfect.
Perfect.
Oh,
I believe it is.
okay.
I'm gonna agree with that. It is.
Why do you think that is?
I believe it is because, let's just go like she said, statistics and numbers. Majority of women did not grow up with a father, so they have this.
Idea.
That's the word. Thank you. This idea in their mind of all these different things they've seen throughout life of what perfect men should look like, especially scripted men. Let's go with TV.
Okay.
Because that's a lot of that. Honestly, that's the problem with a lot of people with dating. Our vision of dating came from TV.
Absolutely.
Today, yeah.
So now you think you ain't doing it the right way.
Yeah.
Yo, yes I am, because I'm being me.
Yeah.
You forgot somebody wrote that shit.
True.
We're not writing this. We just going
And
on.
intimacy is the language between two people, so it's
Yes.
not the same for every person.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you gotta have that connection. You gotta have chemistry for the intimacy to even, because the holding hands and the kissing is more intimate than everything else. To be honest, if I can't kiss you, I can't do nothing else with you.
I think that's preference. Because some people are not that affectionate. Just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Ray must not be.
Yeah.
She's like, I know that's a preference.
No, I'm a very affectionate person, and I've ran across people like that.
So
this the opposite.
You
It's the
trying to
opposite.
kiss me? It's like,
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
And people aren't
Yeah.
affectionate. That comes from unresolved
Just put it
trauma.
in.
But that's a whole other.
That's a whole nother
That's a whole
conversation.
nother show.
That's a whole other conversation.
Yeah.
Miss
But men, but women. So here's the thing with women who didn't grow up with a father. They have an idea of what they want that may be way over the top.
Mm-hmm.
Then you have the woman who grew up with a father. And whenever you say, well, my father set these standards, then men go, oh, you just want me to be perfect. I never told you my daddy was perfect, sir. All I said was, he set standards.
Okay, Wana, is there, I wish I could read that from here. I can't read that from here. What the
I
hell?
agree.
Go ahead, Corey.
They watch too many Tyler Perry movies. Men
Come on,
get you
TV.
a passport and travel. Expose yourself to African women and Afro-Latino women. You will see the difference between Western and Eastern women. That was a good point. There
Who
is a
said
difference
that?
between Western and Eastern women. Seriously, but Eastern women don't expect a wedding ring. That's the basis of Western women.
Wait, Eastern women don't expect
Over
them?
there in Europe, a lot of those countries, you don't have to. There's no wedding ring that you have to get a woman. So I'm saying like that's the basis of what of
being married.
Of being married, right? That's a different ideal.
Right. Well, you have to remember, this country is all about money. Anything to make $1 and make you believe that that's what it's solely based
And
on.
that affects dating.
Yeah.
Okay. Wana, is there a lot of pressure? Is it too much pressure for men to be perfect?
Girl, hell no.
Oh, I knew she was. I knew you was about to say that.
First of all,
I knew you was about to say that.
girl, hell no. I'm just sitting here.
I didn't think hell no.
I cannot wait to have my. I'm like,
I thought it was hell to a
I'm
motherfucker.
just
No.
waiting. I'm trying to keep a straight face. You know, I'm like,
Go ahead, Wana.
too much pressure to be perfect.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers don't have enough pressure. They don't marry us. They don't take us on those damn dates. Don't even want to walk on the other side of us. Like, what the hell pressure is these men under? They do not. No.
You just
Ain't no
pressured
pressure.
them like 40 minutes
No,
ago.
ain't no pressure. How is pressure asking
To
you
level up.
to provide for your family. We cradle y'all too much. That is the problem. These women don't have enough expectations and standards for themselves. They accept anything. Like what? That even shouldn't even be a pressure. Like to make sure that you're in a position to provide for your family. That's pressure to you. Like that's crazy to me. I think that we can't even have like. I can't even understand a man that thinks that that's pressure. Like, what is your problem? That's why they're deserting and walking out on their family. Like, I think that it's crazy. Right. Like, I do. That's what I think. And I think it's too much.
It didn't say pressure to do what they're supposed to do.
No, it says pressure to be perfect.
No, because everything you described is not perfect. That's what you already do. It said to be perfect, not do what they're supposed to do.
But
what they supposed to do ain't perfect.
Here's y'all have a bouncing ball on work?
I said,
is there too much pressure on men to be perfect?
I answered the question.
Oh.
Okay, so I don't need no damn bouncing ball. What I need y'all to do is listen. You're not listening.
Right.
What I said was that it's not enough pressure on them in the first place, and I explained why. And I wasn't talking about that. No, it's no pressure to be perfect because there's no pressure just to do basic things. That's my point. So I don't know why. I needed the question to be reiterated to me. I heard the damn question.
I think what she was saying is I think what she was saying is to even ask whether or not they will be perfect is beyond is a stretch because there's no pressure at all.
You ain't even like doing the basic things.
Yeah,
how am I expecting you to be perfect when you can't even get the basic stuff? What's going on?
Is it offensive on a first date for a man to ask you to pay for dinner?
No, absolutely not. And actually, women should come prepared to do that, just in case that's the expectation. And I think that a lot of women don't understand that they should probably pay for the tip. Especially in the first date, they should offer to pay for the tip. That's just to me. That's just like a sign that you have some sort of understanding that he's taking care of you, that he is paying for the date. So yeah, no.
Or if you don't pay for the tip, at least pay for something at night, the parking in the garage, the tip to valet, something.
And offer, because some men say no. Offer.
Or the next day, buy breakfast or something.
No, you're not. Because of your expectation of femininity, you would never do that. And you
yeah, right. However,
so I see straight through that. That's
however,
now you wouldn't.
Now we not what we're not gonna do is
if
I'm gonna pay for it, then I'm just gonna pay for everything.
Now most men I know.
So yeah.
If I decided that I'm gonna let you do this, which is like
very, very
it's
rare.
gonna hurt.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna let you do it, and you're gonna do it all. Don't ask me to pay for keeping my wife.
Oh, if you ain't paying no tip, you giving up some tips.
I mean,
so yeah, I just want y'all to be assured that I know what the question. I know what the damn question is. Is there too much pressure on me? Hell no, because y'all gotta beat the basic stuff to even be perfect. Like perfect, basic is not perfect. Basic is doing what we're supposed to do in life, taking care of ourselves, taking care of our family. If you ain't even meeting that, ain't nobody asking you to be.
See, I don't know. I think I'm coming from again a different place because since we personalizing things with mindset and growth, the people I surround, I don't see that shit. So that's why I'm like, like we're in our 40s. Wait, how old is everybody in this room?
I'm the youngest.
Like you should definitely not be around anybody who's not even meeting the basics. Like let's start there. Why are we even talking about people who don't meet the basics? That's so like.
That's the lowest of the low standards.
Yeah, it's like we're talking about bums at this point. We're talking about dating and getting families back together. Let's talk about the real people doing something, not the basic people. Why are they even a topic?
That's true.
I agree
with that.
Why are they getting energy?
Like in some people's cultures, they don't talk about certain class of people. They act like some people don't exist.
Yeah.
And we do. We address those people all the time.
I address them, but it's like, but it's like
I address
about the people doing something.
I address the collective. I don't address. So if you want to, we could address our personal experiences because obviously I'm surrounded by marriage and all that success and all that stuff. Mm-hmm. And people always check me and be like, but you gotta be relatable. Because like we ain't all raised by our daddies or have this and that, and I understand that. So I've been in this space for too long to just kind of speak to my own experiences. I have done that before, and it did bring me down a notch when people who can't relate to that don't understand. Like you can't speak from the collective, like just speak for the collective. And so sometimes I look at it like, yeah, I mean, but I don't think there's no pressure. It ain't enough pressure on women. Like, come on now, like we asking you, so we ain't asking about women.
You know what? I get what you're saying now.
Yeah.
So we don't hold each other to standards.
I feel
enough.
pressure.
Yeah.
I feel pressure. They be wanting people to cook like we in the 1950s. I'm an entrepreneur, sir. We going out to eat. What do you mean? I'm
Wrong toe.
She don't want to cook.
No. I didn't say no. I never said I don't want to cook. My lifestyle is a nightlife lifestyle. Entertainers, there's not much cooking going on from a woman entertainer or entrepreneur. That's just facts. Even when I was in network marketing, most of the time I'm doing presentations and shows, presentations at night. We were just going, at that time I was dating a millionaire. We were going out to eat. There was no time for anybody to cook.
Here's a question. Would you have liked to have been at home, or do you prefer to be working the way that you work?
I prefer to work the way that I work.
Okay.
So
I know marriages where the women don't cook.
The king comes along and he's like, but it's going to be hard for me to just not do
That says a lot.
Something.
That says a lot.
It's gonna be hard for me to not do something.
So I didn't get.
So he gonna have to make me like the secretary for his business. I gotta do something.
So Rashida,
and then I don't want to feel like it's just you. I'm not selfish like that.
Right.
So Rashida and Corey, I didn't get to ask James yet. He's the last one, has me in standing, and I really want to get his point of view on this as a man. Is there too much pressure on men to be perfect?
Conceptually, yes. I think.
Hold on, wait a minute. Where my dictionary?
Whatever. Hey, listen, man. I went to college for like a year and a half.
I know what conception is. I did that a couple of times. And when you add the rest on to the word, is where you lost me.
So I think that thought process comes from like the loud versus the quiet, right? So the women who are of the most value, right, they tend to have or should have the highest standards. But then there's a sector of women or people, and this can apply to men as well, that want to be that higher level person, and they get real loud about what they require, because again, if I require this much, then I should be given this much. And so a man has to do a million different things for me because I am this. And most of them ain't shit.
Can we put Corey out? Can we please? Can we please?
It just goes to people that. I'm using this. I'm just being blunt. Wait.
So let me ask.
What I'm saying this is generalized as for people in general, that a person will say
Loud versus quiet.
that I deserve these things, so you should do all of these things for me. That's like people who ain't good at a lot of jobs. You have people, I'm watching people who don't want to go to work. They want to make $1 million, but they don't want to do shit for it, but they feel like they're worth it.
Insert Kevin.
So if they keep on saying if they keep saying if I say it enough times, then somebody gonna believe it. And so if we all say that men should be doing these things, then these men should conform, that they should be doing these things for us.
I think they should legally take away the use of those two words, should be. Should nobody be doing shit.
It's some things some people should be doing.
And that's the way I look at
people that don't.
So I got a question for you guys.
People that don't.
So real quick.
I think
Hold on, you guys. Let James. Let James
To wrap it
finish.
up,
Yeah,
I
let
think
finish wrap it
I
up,
think
yeah.
the pressure to be perfect is only if you accept that pressure, because it has to be worth it. And again, in most cases,
Pressure book.
all day, every day.
So let me let you guys know where the question actually came from. As you guys know, I ask women and men the same questions. On February 1st, I asked them a set of questions, and men a set of questions. On February 8th, I asked women a set of questions. I got two different answers on one particular question. The question was, whose responsibility was it to lead for the nuclear family to come back to life so we can have more nuclear families? I had a panel of 3 women, 1 freebie came in later, and 2 out of the 3 women said men. 1 woman said both. Unanimously, the men said both. So since I got a scale of women who said men, I wondered, because it's scaled that way, if there was too much pressure on men to be perfect. So that's what that question came from. You know what I mean? Because I think, I do think that it takes 2 to tango. So I was just like, okay, since the tango led to one side on one level, is there too much pressure on that one side? Go ahead, Corey.
But leading a family is a perfection.
Okay.
Like just taking control of a family, that's not perfection. Like
End of the
perfection is pretty much unrealistic expectations
Yes.
that you have on somebody. Like this person can't do this wrong, and they have to do it right, and they have to know. Me leading the family, I'm gonna mess up.
Yeah.
I'm
But
going.
I
I
think
say
that where she's coming from with it is that if women are saying that it's the man's responsibility, then basically that they're saying that if men don't do these things, then we can't participate.
But you know what? It should naturally be back to what you said, that a man should want to take control and responsibility. Like, should no man be in no fucking house, like receiving instructions?
I can roll with
You
that.
know what I'm saying?
I can
So
roll
a
with that.
man should want to take on those responsibilities, and it goes back to what you choose. I'm not about, if this woman can't do it, I'm not about to wonder why she can't.
She simply can't.
She just
and I
can't.
can roll with you on that. Either you can do what I need you to do, and for me, is I lead my life as this is my car. I'm going where I'm going. My woman, you gonna get in the passenger seat. You rolling with me. You can read the map. You can help me figure out how to get there a little faster. But ultimately, we going to my destination.
I got a better one. I treat it like I'm selling this car. You ain't got to buy this motherfucker.
Say it Corey, what you say?
Straight
Say it one more time.
You ain't got to buy this
You ain't got to buy this motherfucker. I'll sell it to somebody else.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Heartbeat. For me,
Y'all are funny.
I'm gonna get there no matter what. I'm going.
Down here,
It's like
I'm glad you guys said what you said, especially Corey, because one of the things, and this is why I agree 100% with that question, that men are pressured with too much pressure to be perfect.
Yeah.
One of the main things you guys are pressured, and I call it pressure because it's pressure when something is foreign to you and you have to learn how to do it, and you want to learn how to do it. Is being a father if you didn't have one.
Wait.
That's a lot of to be perfect.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
No. Say it one more time.
If you haven't been fathered and you have to learn how to father,
okay.
and somebody's telling you do it like this, like this, like this, like this, that's pressure to be perfect.
Okay.
It is.
Okay.
It is. It is. Because you know what? You should be allowed to make mistakes. You should be in a position to know that I'm not going to get this right. You should be.
Because we don't even get it right, and we mothers.
Wanda want to say something. James is coming up with something. So Wanda, what do you want to say to that?
I've dropped the baby.
Yeah, I think. Go ahead.
Wanda, what do you want to say to that?
I'm sweating.
So for me, I feel like if you don't have a father, if you want to bring father into this,
Okay.
my idea of being a father came from what I didn't have.
Hello.
I knew what to do based on what I didn't get, what I wanted. Okay, I knew how I need to be there every day. I knew how when I didn't like them, I still had to love them. I knew all of those things because my father wasn't there every day. I knew that. So
It wasn't any pressure, but I can partially understand because again, this is something that I see that Corey mentioned earlier, that you have, and I need to have women trying to define how men are supposed to do
That's
these
all
things.
I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
Saying that you should do it like this, and because you didn't learn it from a man, then you aren't as secure in it,
or you're doing it wrong,
or you may feel like you're not doing it 100% right. So I can understand that. There is a lot of in going back to gender roles, my feelings are men are supposed to learn what men do from men. Women learn from women. This world right now is you trying to tell me how I'm supposed to do my job
based on her single friend telling her,
based on your thoughts and feelings. When I have to understand that we do things that we do for different reasons. You are most times trying to serve your emotions. And most times I'm trying to serve my logic. I'm trying to serve.
Or just provide.
I'm trying to serve what I know is right. Typically, you can't see past tomorrow because your emotions are governed today. Or almost everything that I'm doing today is for tomorrow. Everything that I'm doing today, I figured this out a week ago.
Or a man's love language could be him paying the bills, not being so affectionate, not being, what she wants. Not saying that she should accept that.
But you should have learned that before they moved in.
And that could just be his interpretation
because
on how
most men's greatest love language is responsibility.
Absolutely. I paid the bills. Get the fuck off my back.
Again, do you think I want to go to work and bust my ass the way I do? Do you think that it feels good that I'm waking up at 3-4 o'clock in the morning, I'm working 12 hours, come home, I don't spend enough time with my family, I can't go have fun, I can't do blah, 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 blah. I can't live certain lives, but I have a responsibility. So I'm gonna handle these things, and I'm gonna do it that way because that's what I chose to do. I could choose not to.
And you still getting frustrated.
But you could do more.
Pressure.
You could do more
To be perfect.
Tawana, what you got?
Again, like I said.
And I'm leaving the door because I want to hear her.
Can you give me a water, please? And pass me my phone.
Because y'all know I'm about to
And pass me my phone on the thing.
Because I'm a woman and I feel like I'm pressured to be perfect. So I know y'all.
Right. Right. But that goes with expectations.
Exactly.
That goes with expectations.
So here's my question then. My question will be, is it an internal pressure or is it a society pressure?
I believe it's both.
I think it's society.
You think it's both? What do you do?
Because
do you think there's any pressure at all? So, because what you said earlier was that there's no pressure at all. So how would even?
She said not enough.
Yeah, right.
There's not enough pressure, in my opinion.
So do you think it's a pressure and there's no internal pressure, or there's no enough pressure from society? Or maybe your family. What do you think?
I don't even know how to answer that question because I don't even understand. I lay down and create this kid, and then I say that it's too much pressure to be a parent because I didn't have a previous
that's not
parent.
what we said. Perfect, not parent.
Yeah, just perfect.
That's perfect is a whole nother ball game from just being a parent.
But you know what? An expectation.
Asking somebody to do certain things is not asking them to be perfect.
I would think that an expectation on
So
somebody to be
as
perfect.
a parent. So I have a question. Hold on. So I have a question. My question would be, so where do you think that? You kind of messed me up, Corey, when you were trying to stop me. Because I had the question right there. It was right there.
You got a good point.
I didn't even hear what you said because I was trying to get my question out.
Yeah,
So
right, sound like it was right there.
Right there. What's the last thing that you said?
I didn't say anything yet because I was more so just coming to the realization that when you become a parent, that the other parent asking you to do certain things puts an unrealistic expectation on you, therefore making you perfect. I don't know. I don't understand that.
So do you not understand?
Yeah, we never said unrealistic expectations.
No, but he said perfect. He defined perfect as unrealistic.
No, the question said ask perfect.
Right, and you said you defined it as unrealistic.
Well, here's the thing.
I just regurgitated.
If I want perfection from you, I'm not happy with you. If I want you to be perfect, then I am not happy with who you are.
Yeah, I'm not. I'm more so just trying to understand what y'all are saying is perfect. Like, because I don't.
So, okay.
Asking someone to be a parent is not asking
No,
them to be perfect.
It's not.
It's
No, it's,
asking you to do basic things or okay. So
No,
For instance,
clearly if we're
for
asking them to
instance,
be
I'm
perfect,
married,
it's not
okay?
basic.
But it's not. But
the
I'm not happy
perfection
with
is
the
not,
person.
it's
if I want
not,
to be.
it's not
Exactly.
basic things. The perfection is, again, for me,
Right.
the perfection goes far past basic.
Exactly.
Is that you have
That's not
to
basic.
literally do almost everything. You have to perform at
Every
an
level.
extremely high level.
Right.
At
That's
all
what
times.
I'm thinking of. So I
Right.
don't think there's no pressure on me to be fathers. Like,
So do
I
you
don't
think
that nobody's asking them to perform at extremely high levels.
Or
That's
what-
unrealistic.
But in her
Maybe
case,
not
based
you,
on
but
his
there
but the
are.
context of her question,
Well,
what if
yeah,
they're
No,
doing,
like period.
but what if they're
In
doing
life.
something and you're just not happy with what they're doing? Like what if they are giving a
Is
value?
that perfection that I'm asking him for? Or
In
is
your
that
eyes, it
assistance?
It would have
No,
to be
I
if you're not
don't.
happy with what they're giving.
Exactly. Assistance is totally different.
No, because I
from
think
that.
where you're
that
coming from,
question.
you think that nobody is doing anything to pressure anybody to do anything. Because even with the first question, when I asked, it wasn't the first one, but it was the second one,
Mhm.
to ask whether or not women are creating low standards, and you said yeah.
Yeah.
So to me, you're saying that we're worried about perfection, and we haven't even grabbed the basics
That's
yet.
what I'm thinking.
So
That's how
so
my
for
mind
her
is
mind,
thinking.
in her mind, she can't even grasp
Like,
the
where's the
idea of
perfection?
perfection.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? That's where
where
it's
is
coming
this?
from. It's like,
I
why are
don't
we
see
even
it.
having a conversation about perfection when people can't even do the
You
basics?
talking about Bluetooth in a car, you still got roll up windows.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like
Why are we talking
it's
about?
like we trying to get
Right.
an Ivy League school. We in the community college. Like I don't even.
Yeah.
It ain't even like attainable. I don't even understand where
But
y'all coming from. So I don't see the. I don't.
But you
I
do
don't
know.
see why.
But you
is
do know
any
the
pressure to be perfect.
No, okay. What you just explained is the pressure because you do know there are people there with those expectations, just like you said. So that is pressure to be perfect.
Yeah, I don't agree.
But there are people like that.
People.
You don't think that
I
people
don't
like
know.
that?
I don't know.
We
I
just
don't-
talked about
I think that
people.
it's like normal expectation. I don't know.
I think the problem is that, again,
I think that we
I don't
are.
think you see this two-sided, is that again, is that when you want one thing, you have to give similar things.
That's called a
Yeah,
compromise.
I
Right.
do see that.
And so,
You think I'm married and I don't know you got to give and take?
but
I do.
but
I
when you see
understand
this,
that.
you aren't accepting that.
Don't be scared.
No,
He's
I'm
trying
trying
to
to
make
trying to
sense.
say-
Yeah, I'm trying to-
Because I jumped in a
I'm
little
trying to
early
make
before I had my whole argument together.
No, I'm really trying to.
So you have to accept that you are right. There are women who have low standards, right?
Right.
But to me, from what I see, they are accepting certain things temporarily. Okay, they will deal with. Yeah, I'm gonna have sex with him.
Right.
But I'm gonna date him, and I need him to do this, that, and that. If he wants all of this is for me. I'm gonna scratch this itch over here.
Mm-hmm.
Now she ends up again because this is the me part. Okay. This
So you thinking about a specific type of woman because you generalizing. See, y'all generalize
You
a
doing
lot.
the same thing.
No, I'm not. How am I generalizing?
He just spoke about the basic women
But
you
you're
brought
saying
up.
this a woman who's got two men. One man, he just hitting it. The other man is this. It's like, okay, where is this going?
I'm
Because every woman don't have that scenario. So what
she
I'm
don't have to
saying
have that scenario. She has
I don't
men
understand
that
where
she
this
don't
is going.
she
Okay,
don't
keep
like
going.
enough. She don't
Maybe
like enough to date, but she gonna have sex with them.
Mhm.
Okay. These other men, the men who she actually choose to date,
Okay.
the men that she choose to date, they have to keep ticking off all of these boxes.
Mhm.
Him, he only got to
Women do
bring
it
dick
every
to the
day.
table.
They do it every day.
That's it. Now, whether she's dating both of them or dealing with both of them at the same time or not is not the question.
This one has
That
the
one
pressure
has a
to
different
be perfect.
expectation of this one. This one is, in my opinion, is what you're talking about the most, is that this is who they keep dealing with. And I agree. They deal with these a lot. They getting a lot of dick. A whole lot of dick.
Right.
When it comes to the dating, now I like you. Oh, you like me? Well, here is the criteria, sir.
Mhm.
Because you're not him.
And now
Who
he got the
fucks me?
pressure to be perfect.
This is two different things. And again, from a male's perspective, we know that this is two different things. We have dealt with the women. We see the women. I got more women friends than men, I can tell you. Yeah, these are two completely different things. It may not seem realistic to you.
I know
it's
people
not
who've
about
done
whether
that.
it's realistic. It's about why are you setting the standard based on the lowest possible and saying then anything more than getting fucked is
No.
perfection. Like that's ridiculous
No,
to me.
I'm
That
saying
is
that
not
when you're,
a comparable
looking
scale.
at a mate,
But
again,
here's what I'm saying. In context of is perfection.
right?
You use the lowest scale. So that's me saying, okay, a deadbeat dad is the lowest. Okay. And an active father is pressure. Like now that's perfection. So like if you're in the middle, you just kind of a deadbeat, you kind of the active dad, then there ain't no pressure. But if I'm asking you to be an active dad, that's a low ass scale. That's a low ass scale to say.
I know some.
To say a man, like what if I'm dating 4 guys and I'm not having sex with none of them?
Okay.
Right.
Your time.
So, but
And clearly you're looking for perfection.
Clearly, because you not because you ain't letting nobody hit.
no, you ain't.
You got 4 motherfuckers and not one of them is good enough.
Don't nobody hit you with.
And not one of them is good enough.
Eight balls, ain't nothing else.
Oh man, nobody gets
You
you
got
with.
4 motherfuckers and not one of them good enough. Come on now.
So here's the thing.
Mello, you looking for perfection.
So
Because it ain't good enough for you.
Ain't nothing to be
Y'all
good
said
enough.
sex.
So there's no pleasing
No.
you, Mr. Powers.
I wasn't even talking about sex. They were talking about sex. I wasn't talking about sex.
But
But
I
she
wasn't
knows she was
talking
talking about sex. She said she ain't hit none of them.
Y'all didn't even let me finish the statement, but yes,
I am so
I
sorry.
was saying that you're saying that okay.
I didn't say sex.
You did. You said if a woman
Was having sex with one.
Right.
That's
She was
what
having
I'm
sex with
quoting
that
that
dude.
statement.
Okay, right, okay.
And I'm using that as the lowest bar.
Okay.
Because you're saying that on the opposite end,
No, I'm saying
she's
she's just
dating
simply
men.
she's using him to scratch an itch. And then that
scratch
ends
an
up,
itch. What does that
that-
mean?
That
Yeah,
means
everybody
that's
got
with him. That's
everybody
it.
got physical urges.
Right.
Right, sex. Everybody got
It's
physical
only
urges.
standard just to
But
blow
that
it back
ends-
out. That's it.
But that ends up
Okay.
but
That's
that,
the lowest.
Okay.
That's a low standard.
actually
That is a
I
low
think it's pretty just natural.
Oh, so now you saying it's not low. Okay.
No, you the one called it low. I
You
didn't
called
call
it
it low.
basic.
Right.
You
I
called
didn't
it
call
low
it low.
and basic.
Because you
Wait,
said
rewind
that
the
the
tape.
I get it.
No, I'm
I
saying
did
that there are
say
different
that because-
expectations
I
because
did say
again, this is for me. So now that's just for you. Listen, I got this itch. I need this taken care of.
Listen, y'all.
I know
if
fam
y'all
gonna
think
do this.
basic shit is pressure, go ahead. I don't know what else to say.
I think
No,
basic shit
but-
is suggestive.
Yes.
I think it's basic.
And guess
to
right.
you, and
It's
it could
like
be-
my expectations to me. I'm like, okay, that's kind of what you have to do.
Right, but you got some sexual people who
Now,
base
if
their
you're- okay,
emotions
so what
and
type of- what
they
type
base their
what's a
their,
perfection?
chemistry
Perfection
on
is
sex.
all.
What's
what you think-
perfection?
That's
for a
different.
man?
That's different for each person. That's not generalized.
I think what you
your
think
perfection could be a drug dealer.
Or your perfection
Mine
could
could
be
be a
your perfection
pastor.
could be we go out and
So
I
that's
pay for
different.
drinks for all your men. I mean for all your friends. And if I don't, then
You ain't
I'm
shit.
fucking up.
Right.
So it's really what you think perfection is.
Exactly. It's your perspective.
Perfection could be for you that he has to pay all the bills, he has to take care of your kids, he has to send you shopping, he has to drive your mama to the grocery store, he has to. Again, there's a whole list of what you need. That
I don't
could be
see that as
perfection.
perfection. So I guess that's my
Okay.
opinion.
So then there's
So,
no
so,
perfection.
so,
me,
so
what
here's the
could possibly
question.
be
So here's the
perfection?
question.
Yeah, like,
Right.
I
So
just read off about 15 things. You're like, oh no, that ain't perfection.
Right.
I'm like, shit.
So here's my question. Hold on, wait, my question.
Have you ever used the word perfect when thanking somebody or something? Thank you. That was perfect.
Yeah.
Okay, then you know
I
what
have.
perfection is.
I didn't say that I didn't.
No. So
You saying-
there's a better question
Unless
now.
perfect is
Here's
is
my
you
question. Here's
Stretch
my
across the
question.
motherfucking street.
Hold on, you guys. Hold on.
But I'm saying, just don't act like there's no level of perfection.
Yes,
Everybody has
But here
their
I
own
understand this also
Right.
is subjective, like Corey said. So
Right.
let's ask the blanket question. What is your idea of perfection?
So here's my thing. If you're saying the man gotta be 100% wealthy,
We want to hear what you saying.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. If a woman is like nope, he got to be wealthy. I ain't touching him unless he's wealthy. He got to have social power. He got to be in a power position. He got to be the CEO of an organization, and he got to be a tech organization. Like, he got to be certain, like, he's got to have everything. So, like, let's say she's flexible. Maybe she does want a wealthy man, but maybe if he's like, okay, he ain't making as much money as she wants, she's still willing to date him. But what if she doesn't? He's got to be making 1 million, or that's it. And I'm not dating him unless he's making that. Or I'm not dating a man. I'm not dating no man unless he wearing a suit every day, or he's doing this.
So you saying any brand of flexibility,
like unrealistic expectations.
Is your husband perfect?
That's not unrealistic.
That's
for her?
to me, it's unrealistic.
Is your
and
husband
only
perfect?
10% of men even meet that criteria. That's unrealistic.
Is your husband
yes.
perfect?
No.
Okay,
Absolutely
so then
not.
You would
And
be
I ain't
willing
perfect.
to date someone who's not perfect.
Right. I mean, right. Don't even think that our expectations are perfection.
But I think that there are some women who have an idea of perfection,
Yeah.
and they don't date below that idea.
Right.
So I think that's what the question.
And social media pushes that so hard.
Self-worth.
I
and
do
deserve.
agree with that statement.
People who say I deserve, I'd be like, I turn around and walk away. I just feel like I deserve.
So
There's nothing wrong with saying that.
I'd be like, why?
I deserve me.
And then they be like,
I deserve.
what you mean?
I deserve
Because I
me
deserve.
what I need. And there's nothing wrong with needing.
I had a conversation with my 16-year-old daughter about I deserve. She was like, I feel like I just deserve, if a boy want to date me, then I was like, you do? Okay. I was like, why? I was like, why would he do all that for you? She was like, what you mean? Because I'm worth it. I was like, why? She was like, because I am. Why? And she had no answers. And typically, unfortunately, that's what happens. They're
basing what they think they deserve off someone else.
Right. And that's what we're getting into.
I'm gonna make them what's that money bag yo song? Make it hard for the next.
So do you think? So here's my. Go ahead, Wana. You got a question?
No, I was just wondering what did she say she wanted? Is what I was trying to figure out.
She wasn't saying anything particular. She was trying to explain to me that she had high standards.
Okay.
And I was trying to get to why. And like and again, this is I'm blunt with my daughter as well. Like, why? Like, why would a person go to these extents for you? Help me understand why. And she was just like stuck. Like, I deserve this. That's not what I teach you. So I want to understand why you feel like you deserve something that, like, and she was stuck. But again,
like a lot of women
in a young woman, in a young lady at 16 years old, she was stuck. She was having a similar conversation that I've had with 40-year-old women who get stuck. And Dion gonna laugh when he hear this. We was talking about 10 years ago and came up with the concept. So what do you do? So why are you worth this? You can tell me what you want, and I'll listen. That's fine. But tell me why I'm gonna give it to you. And most people get stuck because they just feel like the concept of self-worth, and the concept of I deserve it.
Shouldn't they just show you?
I would appreciate it.
Because I don't really know why you would even want to ask somebody that. Because like I don't really care what you say.
Because people say
it doesn't matter what you say.
Well, people try to set standards.
You can say because I'm a man, and I'm gonna be like, okay,
right.
But you're not gonna get that just because of that.
This is 100%
but if you
true.
show me that you're a man, if you show me that you deserve it, then you're gonna receive it.
But
so I could care less
people
what you
speak
say.
their expectations.
Ain't no man ever asked me why I deserve this.
No.
Because they just know. Well, you know what I mean?
That's not what I asked. I asked, don't most
know
people speak their expectations? If you have expectations of when you meet a man, and
well,
you
that
are
woman
going to go on a
didn't speak
date,
it to him. She just moved him.
She
just moved him.
I'm pretty sure it was. So I'm not basing what I want or what I need or what I deserve on somebody that may or may not give it to me. I control it.
Yeah. So right. I went on a date. Okay, so if I go on a date, I expect the man to pay, but I don't tell him that.
Exactly.
So
you know
now,
what I mean? And I do expect
that was actually
right?
my point. Was
when you speak things, now you kind of got to explain. Because if somebody like challenge what you just said, otherwise you can just show them. Like, oh man, I'm gonna take Charlotte. She nice, she funny, she fun, she cool to hang with, she ain't no problems. Man, I'm gonna take her out, I'm gonna show her a nice time, blah 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 blah.
Right.
But in today's world, you got social media and everything, and people just yapping. And so now when you like, oh, but you yeah.
Everybody talking, they got nothing to say.
Huh?
Right. It's like, what you mean? Cause I am. Like,
I will
see yourself later.
I will have a lot to say. I have a lot to say.
And that's
I sure would.
And that's
I would be like, yeah. You want to know why? Because I'll tell you why you need to pay for this. and if you don't want to pay for this date, that's fine. I'll pay for myself. But if I,
you know what? I'm not gonna listen to what you're saying. I'm just gonna assess.
That's right. That's right.
What are
That's just assess.
I don't even know, man. I can't read them. I can't read them from here.
Who name is Cryotone?
I have
Crypto.
no idea.
Oh,
That is a new
Crypto.
person.
What up, Crypto? We don't know who you is,
So we
but
don't. But we're glad that you're here.
What did
Yeah.
he say?
Hello.
He just trolls and so
What does that say?
Yeah,
They just troll.
I got a moderator. What he doing?
They just.
I mean, it's a different kind of
You
troll.
can read.
Where-
You can read the comments, but
Are this on Twitch?
This
What's that
is some of
Facebook?
these answers on YouTube. Some of these answers. Yeah, okay, so I see a lot of YouTube. Some of my Twitch people ain't here right now. But yeah. So I'm about to get to this next question.
Dang, we got more questions?
Right,
This has been longer than an hour.
No, elaborate.
It's my
So
favorite.
I feel you. So I think I'm gonna get to this last question because I think this question is important to me. Because okay, this particular question is
Whoa,
important.
they in here going crazy.
They are. They're going bananas. So this last question, right?
Wait. Who they talking most shit about?
Let's see.
I see a lot of Corey in there.
Yeah.
I did see a lot of Corey.
Like, wow,
That's 'cause
Corey,
he wanted-
that was his car
They see him
accident.
walking all on the inside and shit. Oh, let that lady get hit by a car.
do to these YouTube
Hey, I ain't telling
I
my
breathe
kids I'm done.
the angry men over.
Man,
I
think
I
it's a-
welcome them.
Oh,
I
you one of
welcome
those.
them.
Oh, wow.
See,
Hey, Keith Page
You
said,
have.
I was in that
remember,
group.
men
He was in
don't
that
have
group.
all that
Yeah.
government help
Yeah.
that women do.
That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
I used to
You
just
say you
watch
get
it.
it all,
I'm
huh?
selling link right now.
Yeah,
I you know, I stir it up in these YouTube streets. They know.
Yeah. I forgot to mention it because I know you used to watch it, but I was trying to see whether or not you was going to recognize it.
Yeah. Yeah. I was like, I should talk some shit in this group. And I'm like, no, I'm good. These people are crazy.
Hey,
Those
this,
men in there are crazy for the record. But we'll
this
talk about
crypto
that.
I got, we can talk about that later after.
will this be up later? This
So-
crypto guy going crazy. I gotta see what he's talking about.
Right, yeah, it'll be up later. It's not going to be deleted. This is staying up, you guys. So if you miss anything, you can rewind. I'm gonna ask this last question because now in this YouTube area, right?
Yeah.
In particular on the internet specifically, there are a lot of men who are expressing themselves where typically men will keep quiet. Men typically just take the punches, roll with the punches, and kept going. Today, men said, "Yeah, I got some shit to say." So now we have a lot of different platforms that where men are expressing themselves. I think it's been around for about 10 years, but in the height of Kevin Samuels, now it's more in everybody's face, and a lot of things are going viral. And more people are creating more platforms so that men can express themselves. Women have always expressed themselves. We ain't afraid to talk about what the hell we want, what we desire, and what we need. We have no problem saying what we want and what we desire and what we need. It's always been that way. So now we have a conversation where men are talking and women are still talking, right? So like, okay, since people were getting divorced and nobody's being married, now everybody's expressing themselves. I have a question. With more men speaking up about what they want, is there a chance that more nuclear families will form in the future? Now that people are talking and actually having a conversation, hence me having this period, right? Is there a chance that in the future, because today, I don't know about today, but in the future, is there a chance that more nuclear families with everybody watching all the back and forth, men expressing themselves, women expressing themselves, that nuclear families will come into fruition more in the future. I would like to start. I see y'all, the brains running for a little bit. I'm going to let y'all brains run a little bit, and I'm going to let whoever wants to go first since the brains are fumbled.
I don't think so.
You don't think it's going to happen? Why, Corey?
I think that ideally everybody is a brand now. So everybody is protecting their brand. I don't believe that we value the institution of family. And I believe we're moving further away from that. I believe that this world is set up now to where we, even though we're around each other, we're moving further and further apart. So I see the family dying, the family institution dying, actually.
Damn. Okay, Rashida. Do you think there's a chance that nuclear families or more marriages at least are going to form? Something.
With all the vaccinations, no.
What?
Wasn't expecting
that.
Hey,
wait a minute. Also, that word, I should have said that, is prohibited. Because it is a trigger word in the YouTube.
Oh, you're right. Okay, I'm sorry.
Yes.
I take it back.
You're supposed to say the jab. If you want to say the jab, you can say the jab. The jab.
Tuskegee 2.0.
Gee.
But
that was deep.
I will went on for 44 years. How long do you think this one gonna go? But anyway, I'm hoping it will, but not to go too deep. But with the spiritual war that we're in, that we've been in for a while, and it's getting worse, it's not looking good.
Okay.
Too many men are getting killed and dying, and people dying from illnesses. People are dying younger than what they were from just bad health. It's just all bad.
Okay.
I do appreciate. I spoke to a few people about this. What I will say is, I follow a lot of like trap artists, drill artists. I like drill music. Shout out to all the Chicago artists. Regardless, put their lifestyle to the side. Regardless of the lifestyle, I love the way they promote fatherhood today.
Okay.
I believe that's a start, but I don't know.
So you're finding the silver lining even with all of the craziness.
Yes, you have to.
No, I mean that's a good thing. If you ask me,
You
you're
have
supposed to do that. I mean, she's telling the truth.
Somebody will have something negative to say about it, but
I
see more, regardless of their lifestyle, I see more of them doing it than a man who don't have a gang banging body in his bone being there for his kids.
Okay, we got you.
No, I feel
do you think it's a step forward, the fact that they're taking more responsibility for their kids, but disregarding the mother more as well? Like with the baby and then his children's mom.
Well, I wasn't even thinking about that clown. I'm watching people like Lil Durk, G Herbo. I'm watching, all of those people who are literally promoting fatherhood. Like so much, it's like, okay, we can do this. We might not like this.
I mean, I don't even know much about celebrities, but I think they both of them married or something.
Well, Lil Durk just got engaged. Yeah. Herb is engaged.
Yeah.
I mean, and when they do interviews, they speak so much on, Durk is like, I want to be married. I love her to death. That's it. Herb is like, I want to be married. Being a father is my most proud, the most thing that I love the most out of anything in life. So when they do interviews, they're speaking on that. So all of the followers that they have, regardless of lifestyle, are literally going, man, I'm a lame and I ain't shit if I don't have my kids.
Okay.
And they even talk about it in the music. So now you in the car smoking, doing whatever you're gonna do, but you in the car rapping, I love my kids. Like, dang, let me call my kids.
Love my
Paul.
kids. Bow, bow, bow.
Right. Paul, let me call my kids.
I mean, okay. I can't. I'm gonna be honest. I'm someone who likes to see the silver lining, so I understand it. I personally don't care for drill music at all. However, I do understand that. Yeah, I'm sorry. That's not. It's cool. The only time I don't care for that music at all. So
And they promote
it's
love too.
but at the same time, I do
That shit come
see
on, I'll be like, oh, time to go.
right. I do see what she's coming from with that because I do see a lot of them promoting family. So I get where she's coming from with that. And with a lot of kids growing up without Poppy, at the bare minimum, if we could get there before we get to families coming together, but I know this is going to be a long road. So that's why I said in the future, James, with more men speaking up about what they want.
And thank you all
Is
for being
there-
a great father.
Yeah,
Anytime.
absolutely.
And Dion, I don't know where he is.
Is there a chance that more nuclear families will form in the future, James?
Honestly,
sad
I
that we even
don't
got a
think so.
You don't
I
think
think
so?
I think it'll be about even. I think what we have is, no matter how much we speak up, it makes it easier to kind of recognize people. So we're just getting, an easier group, and a woman can look out and see that man. He speaks like that. He's speaking on those topics. He's talking about those things, and that's the kind of man I'm interested in. And she can go that way. It's not making more women say that's what I want. That's the issue that I see, is that men can speak up all day, but if women don't want that man or those men, then it's not going to happen, and vice versa. Like if we not coming together typically as people to say, I want this woman, she's doing what I want, he's doing what I want. That's what the problem is. Everybody got to do their own thing. And two leaders, it ain't two steering wheels, and nobody's car.
Okay.
It's not gonna happen. And that's what the issue is. But as long as we got that.
What you said actually led to one of the questions that I had that I was debating between two questions, and one of those questions kind of go with what you were saying. So I may ask it if y'all got time. It seemed like y'all not going back and forth about this one. Y'all seem to be almost in the neutral understanding.
We'll see when she gets started.
Right.
Just add a little piece.
Yeah, add a little piece.
Back in the day, you could cheat on your woman and she would still keep you. But now it's like there's too many options, and this is what I mean. Two people back in the day would know that this person is this is my everything. You can go through, you have grandparents.
Need versus want.
You have grandparents that they don't like each other to the point they sleep in different rooms, but they still together. They still paying bills. They still doing everything. Today we have too many options, and if I don't like you, I'm going on and do what the hell I need to do.
It wasn't an emotional relationship. It was a responsibility-based relationship.
Very
true.
Much so. Very much so.
That's true.
But that's that they fell in gender role.
But I think also with going what he's saying with the options, women were more inclined to stay home.
I was just
because
about to say that we didn't have
they didn't have the options
Yes.
to receive to get paid
didn't allow
the same
us
way that we
to.
used to.
This is my home, and I don't care. I'm not leaving it. I need to maintain it, and we're gonna work through whatever we gotta work through.
Right, exactly.
Oh, not
So-
only that, she couldn't make it on her own.
She couldn't.
I want my women like that.
We,
I ain't gonna lie. I like it.
Corey is halfway problematic.
I do. I like, but relying on me.
Halfway.
Let her rely on me.
I got you.
Can't breathe without me.
I got you. I got you. Oh my God, Corey.
Corey is a fool.
Yeah, that's it.
It's not me today. I just want everybody to know that.
Right.
James is not you today.
James is not the target. Okay.
Oh,
man.
So let me go ahead and get to Miss Wana. Wana, with more men speaking up about what they want, is there a chance that more nuclear families will form in the future?
Not because
The
they
laugh.
speaking up for what they want.
Here's the
Wait, no question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Damn. Everything going down.
I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry.
We got it. We good.
I got it. I'm gonna hold it right here. There we go.
Bring that look close.
Yeah, the people need to hear her.
Yes.
The people.
Yeah, you definitely
You gotta put the little hat on the
I
microphone.
wanna.
Oh God.
Oh, there you go.
Put the microphone hat back on. There we go.
Hold outside. Exactly.
I just have to say when it's time for me to answer. Okay, so here's
Go
the thing.
ahead.
I'm gonna say
Not enough
that.
pressure.
Yeah, you good.
So basic.
Good.
All right, so here's the thing.
They speaking up about
That
basic
ain't
shit.
She like dude on the 5 heartbeat, just like I thought.
These
That ain't shit.
these
Oh,
punk
my
ass, these punk ass nuclear families nowadays.
Hey, there is no nucleus. A bunch of atoms.
So here's the thing. If men gotta do more to speak up, they have to start marrying chicks. Okay? So they have to actually marry. There you go. So if you don't want to get married, no, there won't be no nuclear families. There will be baby mamas, and then there'll be blended families. Okay, so there'll be families, but they ain't gonna be nuclear. Okay, so yes, I do think that because men are going to get you pregnant, they're not going to marry you. They're going to abandon you. So then you're going to have to find some other man to take care of.
They're gonna sell crack.
So there's what it is. And I don't think so. I don't think that you have to do that. But here's the thing: if you go to college, you're more likely, they're more likely to get married than a person who does not go to college.
Okay.
That's just a trend that's happening. So if we see trend of people who are going to school, then you naturally will see that they're going to start to partner, they're going to get married, and that's where the nuclear families will come in at.
Okay.
And so I do see a trend of, now the youth have fallen off. They don't want to go to college.
I was about to say, I graduated in my bag. That's what I be saying.
Like a lot of the youth now are doing other things. They can YouTube, they can social media, they are influencers, they can do all these other things. They can get on. So a lot of people aren't really going to school like they used to, but there's still a trend of kids going to school. That's cool. That's cool.
You're at home, you only
College, community college, a trade. But the thing is, those people aren't getting married. So here's the thing: the people who are getting married are the people who are going to school. And so if we see an increase in those people going to school, we're going to see nuclear families.
Not blue collar.
But I see blended families more so in the future. I don't see loss of family. I just think it's not going to look the way we want it to look because of the state of our community. And I mean, I'm talking specifically about Black people. Obviously, white, Asian, other groups, they doing better than our group as far as marriage. Now they're in bad marriages, but they're married. Yeah. They're married. I mean, we're not.
And that's,
what I mean?
That's about force.
That was actually the
it's not
you started talking, that's why I started doing this, because I'm like, I was itching.
I see you.
Because they're willing to be in bad marriages because they value the marriage and the family.
Right, that's what I said.
And so when you say that the man has to marry, men have to marry these women,
they do.
It's not just my decision. I could drag you want me to grab you by your hand and drag you down there? That's perfectly fine. But it's not just my decision. Like, you have to agree to this too.
Well,
so the problem is that you can't.
Yes, I get you.
I am your choice because I'm your choice.
You are a choice.
You understand? So if you picking me just like I'm picking you. So if I'm the motherfucker that's gonna knock you up and walk away, you have to accept responsibility that you chose me. Okay? So
women don't never want to hear that conversation. They don't want to have that one.
You have to accept that and say, he didn't just, it wasn't just on him. I chose him.
Let him go on.
I chose him. All men don't have to follow a certain thing. Everybody ain't the same. You have to make good choices. You have to say, I'm gonna fuck with a man that wants to get married, that blah blah blah. Again, everything don't go according to plan. We all understand that, but generally, this is what I want. Instead of following your emotions, following what make you coochie wet, because he a bad boy, he do these things, he blah blah blah. It's easier for you, and it's very very short term, typically.
Lord, I'm about to lose it.
I understand you, but it's okay.
Here is the thing.
But again, just tell me if I can drag you to the courthouse. That's really all I want to know. Can I take you to the courthoause, James? Can I drag you down?
I want to hear them go back.
Masculine men do not ask women to not think with their emotions, because masculine men.
Wait a minute, wait.
Hold on,
I just want to make sure I heard what you said.
Understand that emotions is a woman's nature. So don't tell a woman that she should not be emotional. That is That it doesn't even make sense to me. It's a natural thing to be
I can roll
emotional.
with you on that.
So for you to blame a woman for taking responsibility for a man who decides to abandon his family is just really, to me, it puts men in subjugated roles. It's the reason why men don't take leadership in their homes, because they have so many people cradling them, telling them that what they
This wasn't
do,
my home to begin
Okay.
with.
She's talking.
telling them that what they do is okay, telling them that it's fine to just abandon your family because you're wrong for choosing this so-called Pookie and Ray Ray.
So a woman plays no role in that.
A woman does play a role.
What role
Especially,
does she
when,
play?
especially when she got 4 kids with no daddy.
That's really what we're trying to get
A
at.
woman does take accountability
Yeah, so
because
it's
she
like
one
she's smarter
raises
than that.
those kids. What do you think accountability is, right? Like, what? I don't understand what else you're asking her to do.
I'm saying
She's
when-
taking
when you
responsibility
when
by
you-
raising these kids.
Yeah,
that
that's
have
after the fact.
That's responsibility. That's responsibility. That's
Where's
not
the
accountability.
accountability?
That's not accountability.
Accountability for your actions?
No, that she chose the
For her
wrong
awful
father for them
actions.
kids.
Exactly.
No, there's no sign on your head that say he's not going to take care of his kids and he's not going to be a good father. That's ridiculous.
But-
That's
But
ridiculous.
don't you date?
So
Don't
I'm
you try to
supposed to
figure
know.
out
she's married.
Okay.
But
I'm
you're not
married.
trying to
My
figure
husband
out-
takes
she's
care of his
married.
kids. I
I
know
know.
that.
But
But I
you
don't
knew
know.
that how?
But here's the thing.
Right. Exactly.
I didn't
You
know that the
that.
first time. Okay, because I've been married twice.
Okay.
Y'all don't know that.
Mhm.
Okay, I was 10 years married.
Okay.
Okay, to a man who took care of his kids
Mhm.
up until I left.
Okay.
So don't tell me that people don't just change. Okay, sometimes that happens. You don't tell a woman to take responsibility for you not doing what you're supposed
So
to do.
now
You
were
are
married.
men are the
you were
only
married,
one.
You were married for 10 years,
Here's the thing.
and that changed. And guess what? I can
Yeah,
roll with
was.
that
I
because
was.
guess what? He
10
handled
years.
that responsibility for 10 years, and he changed.
Um,
I'm gonna give you that.
yeah,
Well, you
yeah.
the one said he did, not me.
I'm
You
not
said he
saying
did.
he handled it for 10 years. I was disagreeing with that, baby. But go ahead. We were
But-
married 10 years. I
So
will say
you was
that.
married. You was married for 10 years.
Yeah,
These things went well. How they went for 10 years. Fine. He married you. Fine. Now there's a difference in we having babies. You ain't got married. You ain't got nowhere down the line. That's your responsibility.
Accountability.
Their accountability.
Accountability.
Yeah.
So now if you get
After
married and shit
multiple-
change because this was your requirement.
After
Because you have to have a
multiple,
requirement for
after
yourself.
multiple, that's different. But you said that she should take
No,
responsibility.
that's not what he said.
I'm
He
talking
said,
to James though.
he said
He
accountability.
said you
He said
said she
accountability.
takes accountability for
Who she
some
chose.
man.
Who she
She
chose.
chose.
She chose.
First of all, you can't tell
Listen.
a person to take accountability for
You're not
your
taking
actions.
accountability that the woman should
It's
take
that her
accountability.
actions. Listen, if I can walk in the room, grab you, lay you on the table, and go at it, because that's what I want to do. You have no choice in that matter. Then fine.
Well, she has a choice.
If she got a choice, then she needs to be accountable for that choice. That's all we saying.
I
You
understand what you're saying,
But-
but what I'm not understanding.
Right.
I don't.
Fuck all that shit.
But the woman should not be held accountable. Is what she's saying.
She is held accountable. She is held accountable. What do you mean?
No,
I don't
you saying that
understand how
she
a
said,
woman
wait,
is not held
You saying that
accountable.
she's taking responsibility by raising the child. That's not accountability.
That is
That's
accountability.
taking responsibility.
That's two different
That's
things.
not taking accountability. Accountability is
Okay,
saying
she's
that
taking
I am,
accountability
excuse me, I'm
for
talking,
taking
excuse
for
me, I'm
her
talking.
kids.
I'm saying that she needs to take accountability for sleeping with this man and take the responsibility and take the accountability of what happens after that.
Okay, yeah, I disagree.
Okay, well, then that's
That's
not.
not. It just doesn't, to me, like you can't tell me to take accountability.
That's
So
like-
she was a
that's
victim
like-
in the situation. So wait.
Was she
I
raped?
got a
Was she raped?
No. So she was a victim in the
I knew
situation.
that motherfucker was crazy.
So she was a victim in this. Wait a minute. So she was a victim in the
How
situation,
is
correct?
how is
Is she a
like, how are
victim?
we switching the goalposts to victimization?
I'm asking
It
if
has
if
nothing to do with
if-
being a victim.
it does. If
That's
the man,
not
wait a
what you
minute.
said.
If the man comes along, wait.
You definitely
Excuse
made
me.
it
Excuse. Let me just ask the
She's
question.
a victim.
If the man comes
because
along
she's not
as a baby,
accountable for him.
if the man comes along and they have a child, and he leaves, then she would automatically be a victim by your logic because she takes no accountability of the
Because
situation.
it wasn't none
That
of it
was
her
his
fault.
fault.
She's not a victim. She's What do you mean?
She's
She's a mother now.
participant.
A single
She's
mother.
a victimized
She's taking
mother.
accountability by being a
She's
mother.
taking
No,
that's
responsibility.
Accountability
That's
says I
accountability,
chose
in
it.
my opinion.
Accountability comes at the initial action. The initial action is you made it with him.
I want to look up the definition.
You
Yeah,
made it
'cause
with him.
Yeah, I want to look up the
Please,
definitions.
because I'm.
That's when I
Your
don't
phone
have
working, mine ain't.
It's dying.
Accountability is
Taking
saying
care of
that
my kids is not accountability.
That's
a
responsibility.
I want to hear the
responsibility.
difference.
accountability is
'Cause I think that's
understanding
where
that I
the
slept with this
disconnect is
person.
happening.
It's choosing
No,
the
I
person who I
understand
had
that I
my
slept with
child
this
with.
person. It
Exactly.
didn't work,
Mhm.
and we were both in a position where we probably shouldn't have slept with each other.
That's accountability.
That's accountability.
Exactly.
I'm gonna look up the. I'm gonna just look up the definition.
That's
Yeah.
not.
I'm gonna just look up the definition.
No, I don't agree with that.
Accountability.
That's a really
So
like
look up accountability and
take the blame
responsibility.
off myself.
The fact or condition of being accountable.
That's accountability.
Responsibility. Their lack of accountability has corroded public respect.
Then say it again. Hold on. Say it one more time.
The fact or condition of being. How about this? Let's look up accountable. Okay.
You can look up the
Because
Webster.
accountability is the act of
No, you can
accountable.
put accountability.
Accountable.
It's the same
Here.
thing.
No, it's gonna say
Here.
the act of being
Required
accountable.
or expected to justify
That's the
actions.
definition.
Hold on.
or decisions
Let him read it. Let him read.
Right.
Let him read the definition. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Accountable.
Of a person, organization, or institution required or expected to justify actions or decisions.
Boom.
Responsible. Parents should be held accountable for their children's actions.
Okay.
So that means that
You're
you are the
saying
cause
yes
of
to
something.
what we're saying.
Effectively, it's a cause and effect.
She had sex with someone who abandoned her. Then she took care of her kids by herself.
That's being responsible.
That's accountable.
No, that's being
No.
responsible.
Accountable is
That
saying.
is accountable.
It's
I don't
not.
understand what
No.
you're saying.
No,
Okay,
and
that's
that's
your
right.
opinion.
No, accountable is
Here's-
being the cause of it.
Here's the accountable part. The accountable part is saying, I had sex with someone who I know is a big time drug dealer, and there's a chance he can get locked up or get killed, and my child may not have a father, whether he leaves or not. That's accountable.
Accountability.
Responsibility is, I know I slept with this person, but I'm going to take care of my child
Responsibility.
regardless of what
Responsibility.
happens. That's the
responsibility.
difference.
I don't agree.
That's
You
okay.
don't?
No, that's okay.
So wait. It's okay, but I got a question. Because I do understand where you're coming from when you're saying that you laid with me and you understand laying with me can form a child.
Yeah.
I get that 100%. Absolutely. Because I do believe that when a child comes into play, both people are responsible and accountable for their decisions,
Exactly.
whether they take it care of them or not.
Yeah.
You know, whatever happens afterwards, but you chose to lay with that person.
Mhm.
So you chose to have the possibility of having a child.
Yeah.
I do look at responsibilities as duties. That's pretty much to me what responsibilities is, and accountability
Self-reflection.
is self-reflection. Exactly.
And that's what
So
a lot
I
of
think
women
that's
don't want to
where-
do.
I don't mind her taking self-reflection. What I don't understand is why do she have to take
So she can
reflection
learn.
of what he did?
So
No,
she can
because it's
learn.
too-
I'm
parts to
okay
it.
with her taking
Okay.
accountability.
He didn't sleep
That-
with her.
I
They
didn't
slept
say
together.
I didn't say she should,
Well, the thing
but
is that
I don't think
he
that
didn't. He
What-
didn't-
I don't
I
think
want
that-
to hear her.
I don't think that what he did is her accountability.
Okay.
I don't believe that. I do believe that we lay down, we had a baby.
And
I knew
she,
that
so
I
you
could
think,
possibly have a
what
baby.
she
I
did.
don't believe
and
that.
that so she expected.
I don't
that they were
believe
gonna
that
be a
because
family?
he decided to walk out.
Well, but-
She should be accountable
you
for
think
him
that
making
every-
a decision.
So-
Like, no, I don't agree with
But
that. Just like I don't agree that a man, if a woman decides, oh, I don't want to be a mama, and he takes care of it, like he should be like, damn, I should have slept with her. Like that's accountability.
He should.
That is not,
Yes, he
no,
should.
that's not the shame. I don't believe that's
That's
accountability.
accountability.
That has nothing to do with accountability. Accountability is him just saying that this is what I did, and I'm gonna be a father. Like I'm just going to. This is what the result of it is.
you know what? No,
Can I-
wait,
I'm gonna
read one more down.
I
I'm
don't
gonna read one more
believe.
down.
I don't believe.
This one is actually a little bit better.
And let's
So,
move into-
Right under the definition of accountable, it says accountability in terms of ethics and governance is equated to answerability, blameworthiness, liability, and the expectation of account giving.
She is liable. She's doing all of that.
But
That means
again,
she's
but you
But
skipped
she
over the
don't-
first couple of words.
She is
Right.
she's a single mother. So what else? I mean, what else does she need to be blamed for? She's a single mother.
She
She's
needs
going
to blame
do that.
herself for
For-
sleeping with a
for
guy
her,
that's
but
not
no.
around.
Exactly.
I mean, okay.
I'll say this.
I just don't see the point.
I'll say this. I will say
It doesn't. It
If
doesn't.
you
To me,
can't,
it's no point.
Okay.
Like, why?
if you
What
can't,
are you?
if you
Okay.
can't
you
tell
can't-
yourself I made a bad
You
decision,
can't learn
then
from
you
it.
are liable to make that decision
You
again.
can't learn from it.
You can't learn.
How
You'll
can
never
you learn
from
from
me.
it?
You're always
Learn
gonna
from it
think
if you
that
don't
you're a
accept
victim in a situation
Right.
and somebody's
None
coming
of it's
along
your
doing
fault.
something to you.
All right, so okay. All right. I guess we'll let this one go because I see that. But I
You
would
told me an
I would
hour.
say with
It's
this.
11 o'clock.
I know. We're about to end it though. I do want to say this. I did hear a single mother literally say, "I should not have slept
Yes.
with him." He left, and she said, "I shouldn't have." I'm not even going to say I'm happy. I love my kids, but he shouldn't have been the father. She held
That's
herself
some serious
in my opinion,
accountability.
Serious.
Serious
accountable
accountability.
for laying with someone. She she said she didn't think it didn't really cross her mind, but after she thought about it, she was like, you know what? In hindsight, 2020, I shouldn't have did
I
it.
shouldn't have did it.
So I think I
People
get
got
what you're
too much
saying
pride.
because you don't want to. You can't. What you're saying is you can't control what other people do.
Yeah.
There's absolutely no way you can control what another
Right.
person does. There's no way.
You just can't.
You can't. I do think that people hold. It's hard to scale what someone else would do when getting to know somebody, and sometimes people do surprise you and be like, wait a minute, did he really? I didn't see that coming. I can see that,
Right.
So I think that's more so where you're coming from, where it's like, how can we scale this particular thing of someone making a decision, a life decision that they should have made before they laid with me.
Yeah.
Is that where you're coming from?
I more so feel like just her saying that is not really being accountable. Right. Okay.
Let me
Okay.
ask you
Okay.
this.
Hold on,
Can
I'm-
I
I'm-
ask a question?
So
Okay, let me
you
ask
shouldn't have
you
slept with
this.
him, but
Let me
I
ask you
mean,
this.
is that
That
really?
means she's less likely to do it
No,
again.
I don't think that. I think that there's other things you can do to not make the decisions that you made previous.
So
But saying that is not, to me, just that's not. I mean, I feel like for you, it's like, okay, that's accountable.
Well,
and like
so
that's
for me,
cool.
for me,
Like shame
I'm
is like
incredibly
accountable
judgmental.
to
No,
y'all. Like
no.
I don't know.
I don't look at shame as accountable.
Recognition.
You can feel ashamed about the
Yeah,
accountability act. That's just a feeling
that's the
of
problem.
the
The shame
accountability
won't let you be
moment. You get what I'm saying?
accountable. It's
Like if I take
Right.
accountable,
It's
I could be accountable also for a good decision.
Yeah.
Like I rose, like let's say somebody
Oh,
make a
people always
decision
want to
and
be
be accountable
accountable
about
the
the
Oh,
Oh,
that's a great
you
analogy.
no.
That is a
Wait,
great
wait,
analogy.
now, hold on.
That's a
Let me
great
continue.
analogy.
Let me continue my thought, you
Yes,
guys.
yes.
So if I accomplish something, right? And let's say I've been grinding for years, learning my craft, and then I reach a certain status. Let's say I'm in a company and I continue to grind within this company, and I finally become CFO, CEO, whatever label I wanted to reach. I finally reached it. I immediately would say I did that. I immediately made choices to receive these benefits.
Yeah.
So I think that decisions with people, I think that sometimes people don't make a decision to hold themselves accountable for who they allow in their life. The same way they the same way they allow themselves to hold themselves accountable for what kind of job or career they chose to work with what they got going on career-wise. I think they kind of separate. I think
good, but not
for
the
the
bad.
bad.
I think
Come
they
on,
separate the two
Yeah.
because
Come on.
I think on some level they separate the two only because it's easier. I would say this: it's a little easier because with your career you feel you have more control. With a person, you feel that you're less in control
or even,
because another person is involved, and you have no control
or even better,
over another person's decision.
or even better.
So it's easier to separate the two because my job, I either made a good or bad decision on how I'm going to do my job, or I made a good. But it's not as easy to say I made a good or bad decision on having them in my life.
But they'll take the accountability when the relationship goes good.
Exactly.
They will.
Just about to say,
going good.
Big Tim,
Yeah.
I chose that.
Yeah.
That's my man. That's my
I
husband.
chose that. That's me
so
right
I
there,
do
baby.
know that accountability because
Either way,
you're making a
Same
decision.
Because
It's a
about
decision.
I think that's just the.
Have you ever
I on, you guys, because it seems
And
like everybody's coming
jumping
at her once. So that's the
She
reason
like
why
that type
I
of
wanted
shit.
you guys. I wanted you guys to allow me to speak.
She
So
want
one by
people to
one.
fight.
Say she tell
No,
people to
I hear you. However, I want people to also be able to hear us. So one by one.
Okay,
You get what I'm saying? Allow people
I'll go
to
quickly.
get the last thought in.
So I think it's especially using like the job analogy.
Mm-hmm.
People take accountability for the good and do not for the bad. If you notice, just think about it. If something goes wrong at work, it's not like, yeah, I fucked that up and they fired me. Yeah, you know what they did to me? It's always a they. It's always someone else is responsible, is accountable, is whatever for what happened to you is someone else's fault. Not, yeah, you know what, I messed up and it's just really wasn't coming back from that.
Okay, but
It's
even
very
in that
few people that
example,
do that.
you don't take accountability for what your coworkers did. You're taking accountability for what you did.
And that's
that's
the
fine.
point. Now,
I
but if the
understand that.
result
So
is
if she says,
Mhm.
okay, you know what? Next time I have a baby, I want to be married. Or the
Yes.
next time I have a baby, I want to make sure that the man has this. That's fine. That's accountability to me. But if she's saying I'm going to take accountability because he walked out, that's stupid. I don't think she.
No,
should do
she's
that.
not taking accountability.
But that's what
because
you said.
No,
That's what I
Nobody
just
said.
Nobody.
Hold on, you guys. Let James and Wana go back and forth.
I did not say take accountability because he walked out. I said take accountability because you chose him.
Well, you said she chose him. Whatever. Okay,
So,
that's the same thing.
Him walking out, no, it's not. It's two completely different
But
things.
to me,
She let him in.
For me,
She let him in. He walked out.
She chose him and he walked out like that.
She let him in though.
I guess it's semantics for me.
He couldn't
I
have
don't
walked out
agree
if
with. I don't agree with what you think accountability is.
For me in my dating life, let me
she's
tell you what
not
I
going
did.
to move forward and do anything productive. Saying, okay, I shouldn't have slept with him.
She will be.
She's not going to be any
better.
more productive.
She's going to be a better woman than she ever
she was
was.
a single mother.
She's not going to make the same
unless
decision.
unless she says that this is what I'm going to like. I want a family now, okay? Or if she's a single mother, I'm assuming a single mother. I'm not assuming my situation when I was married and
it doesn't even matter if you had a baby or not. You could have experienced heartbreak.
Okay, here's the thing.
Whatever it is.
Regardless, you're not going to be any better saying, you know, I should have chosen her. You're not.
If you don't,
in my opinion, you're not. Because if you don't do the work, if you don't actually do the work, be better.
Do what work?
There's a lot of work.
If you didn't do shit wrong, then what are you working on?
Well, but anytime you're in a relationship, what do you mean? What do you mean? Anytime you're in a relationship, you go through stages. There's grief. There's all these things that you have to emotions. I don't know. Everybody does something wrong in every relationship.
But the work that you're doing on
to make yourself better.
To make yourself better.
That's right. So that you'll make better choices.
But
right?
if you're not being accountable, if none of that shit's your fault, because then what are you being accountable to?
By your logic, the way we raise our kids.
She's talking to James.
You think it's all?
I've been getting that shit.
The way that you
put it is James and Wana show.
No, it's not. It's just they were going back and forth.
It was that person's fault or responsibility because that's what they chose to be when you played a part in initially allowing them in. So again, you know what? Listen, I made a bad choice on this. See, I like or used to like these particular type of women. And every time I got with that type of woman, I got this kind of result. I'm not blaming them because they are who the fuck they are. And they've been who they are and they're going to keep being who they are. I'm the motherfucker that keep choosing them. I'm the motherfucker that like them.
Yeah.
Let me move and do something different. That's accountability. I can't say I'm gonna keep trying to get the same type of motherfucker, and one of these motherfuckers gonna do something different for me, because they all not the same.
Or by that logic, let's raise our kids where they don't look at what they did wrong, just continue to move forward. By that logic, you got to teach your kids what they did.
Continue to move forward. I mean, I didn't say that.
Well, I misunderstood.
So I said that there's work you can do, but I just don't understand.
Well, I thought I heard you say. I thought I heard you say. I thought I heard you say that you don't. I thought I heard you say that you don't look at what you did wrong because that's not going to do anything.
But I didn't say
You didn't say that.
Not once. I mean, I don't know when I said
You
that.
definitely said that.
What?
That's
What
what
did
this
I
whole
say?
argument about.
Yeah.
Basically about the
I said that
acknowledgement
that's
that
not
you made.
taking accountability. I didn't say
That's-
that.
Ah.
I said that that's not taking accountability.
So-
I said
so-
that there's ways you can take accountability. I don't
So
think that
basically,
is gonna
is this
change
whole
your
argument
life.
about the definition of accountability?
I'm assuming because y'all are mad about
So-
the way
No,
I
no,
think.
I'm not mad.
I don't know.
So are we okay?
Nobody's
So are
mad.
you okay? Damn the word accountability.
Right.
Are you okay with a motherfucker saying I chose wrong? No.
There you go.
It's
Can you pass me that bottle of water?
Yeah, sure
Okay.
can.
I don't want to be here till the 23rd.
Yeah.
So you don't see that as a possibility? As somebody saying that they chose wrong when it comes to the person whoever it is, however they did it.
I guess
So you don't see it.
I don't see that as being accountable. I'm just like, okay, I chose
Interesting.
wrong. Okay, like what's that? Oh, that's like to me. That's like just like oh. I mean, what exactly are you gonna do?
Is there a
different?
problem with admitting being
That-
wrong?
Hold on.
That's what I'm saying.
Hold on.
Like, what exactly? That's not even. That's nothing. That's just like I chose wrong. Okay. Next time you're gonna choose wrong again. If you're not really like, what
Say
exactly?
it, say it, say
you're
it,
not really
say it,
what?
say it.
If you
You
really
can say it.
Oh,
That's not accountable.
that is.
Just saying I chose wrong is accountable.
Yes.
Yes.
Recognition.
Yes, it's
I know.
recognizing that you're holding yourself accountable.
Okay,
for that
I guess
choices.
so.
I chose wrong.
I
It's
think
that simple.
I don't think so because I really don't think that's gonna even change anything. Just saying that.
It probably
Like,
won't.
I think
It's not even really accountability. It's like, okay, I chose wrong.
So what is it?
It's just like y'all just like
recognition.
I'm assuming, or I don't even know if it's recognition. It's like
I mean,
self.
It's
what?
called
I don't know.
Dang.
self-reflection, self-evaluation. You forgive yourself, you
Self-evaluation.
be free, and you get blessed. That's what it is. It does a lot, a whole lot.
all right. This was a lot.
Time.
Yeah, it's about that time, you guys.
Is Google still open?
Lord. I think this was interesting.
What did you call it?
Kokula.
I don't know what that is.
That's one of the best Mexican restaurants.
Oh, Kakulas. You are saying that so
Kakula.
wrong.
That's why I laughed.
And you know what? I take accountability for that. I apologize.
Y'all
Coke,
silly.
baby.
Y'all silly. Hold on.
God
Right.
damn it.
And I'm gonna take accountability
You
for
can
not
knock it
taking
over
that
the
mic
mic
over.
again.
Yeah, again. It ain't that hard. You know what I'm saying? Put a little pride to the side. It's easy.
Okay.
I'm serious.
You got it down? All right.
But accountability is not easy. I will say that. A lot of
It's
people have to
very
grow
difficult.
to. It's not easy.
Okay.
But once you learn it, you feel the everything being lifted off of you.
Well, I want to say thank you everybody who tuned in to the Nuclear Family. As you can see, I did a little different. I brought two men, I brought two women together to have a conversation. Watch the previous episodes, February 1st and February 8th, where I had a conversation with just men and just women. Two people on this panel was actually on one of those previous episodes. And I brought two people who brought in a different perspective as well. And I think this was a very good and interesting conversation. I want to say thank you, Rashida Lucas, for being here. Thank you. That's my girl over there. That's family, really. But you know how they go. And then Miss Wana, thank you for being here. I appreciate this is our first time meeting you guys. So anybody who's saying, Sheree and Wana knew each other all this time. No. You guys are seeing when we first seen each other, okay? Now it's on camera. Document it. Now, thank you, Corey, for being here. I want to thank you. Thank you, James Q, for being here as well.
Is my check gonna be at the door?
I got you. Just email me your Zelle. I got you.
Thanks.
So also, if you guys go in the description, you will see Facebook, Instagrams, and YouTube channels from 3 of the panelists because James refused to let anybody know who he is.
Wow. Well, too bad because I tagged you on my post. Sorry. My bad. I take accountability for tagging you. I shouldn't have tagged your ass.
Jeez. But other than that, if you see Echo Rhythm, that is Corey. And I made sure I put Corey in there, so he's Echo
And
Rhythm.
versus mobile arcade.
I will put that on there. Just give me the information. I'll put it in the description. Okay. I got you. So, yes, thank you all again. Like the channel, subscribe to the channel, follow the page, hit the notification bell. Leave all the comments about whatever you feel and like. If you can contribute to any of the topics, go ahead and contribute to any of the topics. If you like this format, want to see it again, let me know, and I'll see what I can do. This was interesting. This is charaebarnes, and thank you all. Producer. I cannot.
Well, Corey, that'll
Go
be
ahead,
you. You're a
Corey.
producer. You know what to do.
Yeah, you're a producer as well. Go ahead.
I don't know.
I'll do it.
I work
Yeah,
with
I think
iPad.
James got it.
You know what to do.
James got it.
I'll figure it out.
Thank you all.
Like, I didn't understand.
Leave studio.
No,
In
no, hit
podcast.
Go all the way at the
In
top, at the
Oh,
right.
yeah.
It says in broadcast.
Then-